And no one's leaving this arena because don't forget when we come back after this game, it's North versus South America to find out who plays in the final. But Na'Vi Luminosity is a possibility still for everyone who loves that rivalry. I know I do, but I mean at the same time, all four of these teams, and Liquid's bought their way into this tournament, they've got a chance as well. This one's underway. It's going to be 4 sets of armor bought up on the CT side. Flamey's the utility player. On the opposing side, it's Kerrigan that's going to be holding on to the nades, and they're already putting pressure onto B. Seized will be the first to spot it. Flamey's rotated back early to cover him off, but it's going to be slow. They just want to get map control, Astralis.
Yeah, this is get control of Banana, a very lucrative part of the map. You can see Seized is facing aggressively, does a little bit of damage, but receives some as well. He has got Flamey backing him up, and Zipex on the other side of the map just holding things together with the flanks. They have obtained the Banana control now, push the CTs back towards the side. So this is what they wanted to do. That's the objective complete. Now they can slow things down, still have their utility intact.
It's just a waiting game now as well for Guardian. Zeus already considering the possibility that B is still going to come under threat. So they actually stacked it up a little bit more heavy. If Zipex and Dupree can get in toward apartment, find Edward, or pull one more player off of this, get one pick, this could change the entire landscape and force them to work into the A site. And still, though, Kerrigan is holding on to the utility. So the smoke and flash are both still in play.
We can see now Dupree and Zipex have got control of the A apartments. Dupree, one of his favorite areas of the map, going for this initial kill now. The exchange comes in. Can he find a shot? It's actually Guardian to open things up here, taking down Dupree and giving the man advantage in favor of Na'Vi.
And that's going to force them back. Consider falling back at least, and as they do so, look what Seized has done. He's worked down into Banana. He's got to be careful. He's heard Kerrigan coming, so he's trying to fall away from this. He's called for the rotation already, and Edward getting Zipex means that the lurk is completely gone on the A site, and a 3-man rotation onto the B site means that this is going to be a huge problem as they try and work into B. Smoke's going to go towards CT, cut off the choke point, but they're already inside of it, and they're going to drop the bomb. It's just down to Kerrigan. He's going to get one at least. But Zeus closes the round.
So after obtaining the Banana control and looking like they had a real control of the situation, it's Astralis going for that first pick from Boiler. Dupree goes down, and they lost everything at that stage. C's pushed down towards Banana, getting so much information, and Astralis almost forced to go back towards B. 3 players for Na'Vi waiting for them, and they completely mow them down as they make their way to the bomb site. So there it is, Na'Vi take the 1-0 lead. We're going to round number 2. We haven't seen a force buy from Astralis. This is quite rare, actually. We normally see teams that don't plant the bomb and the pistol will be force buying up in a second with the Tech 9s and armor. They're going for more of a conservative approach here.
They do have the 2 Deagles, Dupree on the armor as well. But it is more conservative than normal. MP9's out on both Flamey and Seized with no armor on 4 of the opposition. This could be a huge chance for those guns to capitalize. Zipex and Dupree again going to try and get apartments control. Kerrigan is joining that direction as Cajun and Device try and open up Banana, get the control of it on the opposing side, but already shut down as Flamey finds Cajun, and Device is going to be spotted in under the arches looking for the Deagle shot. We know Astralis has the accuracy with them, but it's a run and gun. Seized, he's having none of it.
This is when the MP9s are so effective. No head armor to actually hold them off. They're going to mow through you. Lafrag's coming in towards middle. Edward gets the first, and he gets a double and a triple as well. Easy round there for Na'Vi, not dropping a single frag. But it was to be expected. Astralis, like I said, didn't invest too much into that round, so still, money's still relatively healthy. They'll go into the next one with a full buy. Could definitely get an AWP as well, but this one should be the throwaway round. Won't be investing much more than some PT50s into this one, so Na'Vi, another chance for them just to farm a little bit more cash with those SMGs and make sure they keep the rifles in hand.
And efficiency's key as well. Like you say, they can start to build up back and potentially go for that bonus round that we talk about. It is will be the full save.
The bonus round
from the P250s.
On Inferno as well is very effective. You've got many close range, tight angles and choke points to go down. And Flamey just wants to take the battle towards him this round. Wants to get the fireball going in, and there it is. He gets the first frag, and Edward chiming in as well.
And he's got to get back, though, because he was dinked up in that. It is going to be Kerrigan gone. They push Banana as soon as they go more passive into mid. So it's a good sucker punch right now from Na'Vi, and another fully efficient round. All 5 stay alive. This is brilliant, like you say, because if they go for the bonus, even if they allow a reset, they build up such a good economy that they're going to have all the utilities required, and it's such an important factor on Inferno.
So what we mean by when we say the bonus round, guys, is basically, actually not going for it at all. Like, you have the option after you've had 3 clean rounds in a row without dropping many frags. You obviously have SMGs from that second round. It means you can take them to the gun round and take a risk. You have the money to upgrade to a rifle, but it looks like Na'Vi have opted for, I guess, the safer route down this one. They're going to upgrade to an AWP and another M4 as well, so leave the MP9s towards spawn. And, of course, Guardian, you want him to have the AWP at all times, the world's best sniper. Let's see what he can bring to the table here. He's going to be up against Device, who's got the same weapon. He'll be facing towards Banana and looking like he'll be smoked out for now, but you assume a boost will be coming in momentarily.
You would expect it. Guardian's going to hold in the apartments, gives more freedom to the AKs, or rather, excuse me, the M4s that sit at the arch side at top middle. Flamey in the open, looking to get a flash out, try and go for a peek, see if they are running that boost, because the smoke has dissolved. But the Vice is just sitting back. They don't want to take this fight. They know how important this round is, Astralis, to try and do as much damage as possible to Na'Vi.
So this is good from Na'Vi. They have got full banana control, but the problem is they've expended their smokes very early on in the round. So they'll have to fall back. They can get back up from the middle as well. You can throw smokes over the top of the map, but it's going to be more of a difficult hole for them now. And Astralis are aware of that. You can see them slowing things right down. Dupree, of course, getting that apartment's control, as I mentioned before. Boiler room, heavy area of contention for him. It's where he gets most of his entry frags and opens up the map. But it's going to be Guardian to do it this time. He takes him down. Man advantage once again in favor of Na'Vi.
Good positioning from Guardian. It works. He sat and waited patiently, and now it's going to push the offense toward Beat. As you said, the smokes did go out really early, but they still had one to throw, and it's gone down now at the top of Banana at 34 seconds left on the clock. This still has about a 10-second duration. A further one as well. They're going to have to go through this. Either go through this or get back to A, and it looks like that's going to be the choice instead.
Running out of time, though, for sure. 20-second mark, and they still haven't got any real say in terms of the bomb control, but Guardian's waiting towards the top of middle now as they come up.
Guardian's gonna hold the angle, goes for the peak late, finds the first one. It's Edward to cut off the crossfire. Device found a good refrag with his AWP. That will give up the arch side, or rather, excuse me, the truck side and pit, but bomb going down again. All on Kerrigan. The round's over. It's 7 seconds. He's got to kill this out, and he gets 2 kills. But the other 2 smart enough that they will not face. And Kerrigan just needs to run. He can't afford to die after the time.
Well, it makes it expensive, at least, for Na'Vi taking down 3 players towards the end, but Na'Vi played that so perfectly. That final smoke they chucked down towards the top of Banana with 30 seconds remaining, like he said, it was do or die time at that point. They either run through it and hope for the best, or they force themselves back towards middle, which is the option they went for. But you saw Guardian just so ready for him. Such a simple shot. They've got no time really to actually execute efficiently and make sure they're covering all the angles. Run up and hope for the best. Guardian gets the first pick and the bomb taken down as well. Flawless round for them. It's just Kerrigan that makes things interesting with those last 2 souvenir kills. As it goes 4-0 in favor of Na'Vi now. Astralis onto an eco. We obviously have Kerrigan's AK saved from the last round. Can definitely do something with that, but it's going to be a challenging round for sure.
Massively jumping around. That helps, though. Cajun B with the deagle does start it off. Flamey tries to re-peek it. He's got to fall back at this, and he's actually going to get himself in a position where he could be exposed. 34 HP. Nade Flash, again, just trying to discourage Astralis long enough to let Seized come over and give him support, but they've divided the defense. And that AK is still on the A site. It's going to try and go out of Boiler. Kerrigan, he's just buying his time, goes for the peek, the jump, the bait, but Seized is very smart. He gets in behind the pillar. They can't try and set the crossfire. It is going to be gathered, though. And now it's just on Edward. He's got pit control. Such a strong position to be in. Device, he walks in, gets a headshot. Finally, it's answered. And now they get a bomb plant at the very least out of this.
Edward with 4 kills. It's going to be a 2-on-1 round. Should be safe here for the CTs, but Dupree definitely sells a shout in this. 36 HP and the incendiary drop. Only has the PG-50 to work with. Can he do anything with this? Going to be swarmed on the bomb site, and it's going to be Seized to take him down with the Desert Eagle in the end, through the box. But there it was, Astralis. It was Cajun B to open things up with a lovely Desert Eagle headshot towards B. That made things very interesting. Peeled away a CT, that was in the form of Seized towards Banana, and that was our ideal opportunity to go back towards middle. Had it not been for Edward stepping up so massively from the truck side, could have been a round going in favor of Astralis. Wasn't meant to be this time. And it goes 5-0 as we enter round number 6. Astralis, after getting the plant, definitely have ample cash here going into this one. Going to have the AWP back out on Device.
I mean, that's the big thing. Ample cash, yes, with the full bonus plus the bomb plant, but there's still decent money built up on Na'Vi, despite making the last 2 rounds quite close. So that just goes to show you how good of a start they really had in this game.
Yeah, a lot of interesting situations, but let's see if Astralis is going to change things up. Being quite a default play for them so far, just trying to gain control and work a pick. So far, it's been Guardian opening the map up pretty consistently. This time, Cajun B making his way towards Banana. You can see Flamey towards the top. Not such an aggressive approach from him this time. Not going to be smoking down towards the bottom.
Late peek potentially from Guardian. He does check down mid-late. Device wasn't shown. He's just going to hold the angle. Chickens might get in his way. Can't quite see through those as easily. Device is now going to turn his attention on toward B. Flamey again in behind the sandbags. It's Seized. That's going to try and pop a flash out over top and go for the peek potentially on Flamey. But he's got to be a little bit careful now, because as they get forward, that Molotov, if it had been a second later, he would have been dead to rights.
Once again, trying to get that apartment's control will be Zipex and Dupree. The Guardian changing up his position. He was Banana last round. He's going to be towards the quad side. Smoke goes down towards the top of middle, but they're aware of Dupree's antics towards Boiler, so they'll be holding on to it. Zeus boosted up as well, and the smokes have been deployed. This will slow Astralis down momentarily.
So they have got some positioning inside of apartments. I think a footstep was just made. I think I did hear one footstep, and right now with that boost on the atrium, they're going to have heard that. Zeus absolutely knows they have to be in there, so instantly they go for the Molotov inside a Boiler. That buys more time. 38 seconds left to work with right now for Astralis. Smoke's going out in front of Library and on the arch, but right now I think this is actually just trying to force the rotations, but 3 players truck side A means it's a long ways back to B. If Device can open this up, there's a chance. But once again, it's Astralis that's bleeding out the time. We talk about Na'Vi, good flash. Zeus has no idea. They've already made it out of the top mid. And now dupreeh goes. It's all going the way of Astralis. Kerrigan finds Edward. Pit's gone. They can stack A side all they like, but none of them finding a kill.
Yeah, round over. 3 kills is what we required as Astralis completely swarmed the A bomb side. Perfect execution there, smoking off towards the outside, and he saw the Atrium boost just made redundant with those flashbangs. Perfect timing there, and they just find all the kills. It was Kerrigan getting 2, and dupreeh finding 1, and the Chicken's excited, of course, doing a little dance in second mid.
Biased Chicken, clearly an Astralis fan.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, why not? That's all it takes.
Knives and chickens, that's all we need.
Exactly. Well, then Astralis finally arrived here and keeping 5 players alive as well. It was a fantastic round from them. It looked like it could have been gone either way. They only had 20 seconds. They finally went to the mid-execute, but Kerrigan, so good at entering those situations by himself. He normally says he wants to set up for his star players, but sometimes he can have that massive entry potential as well. Finds the headshots are required and runs over Na'Vi. They finally arrive. 5 plays 1 now. Like he said before, though, money has been reasonable for Na'Vi. You can see Zeus is a little bit low, but the money can be distributed accordingly, and they should have a full buy here.
So reset becomes a possibility. Very important. They kept so many players alive. That was perfect. Zeus, they had the double boost as well. Edward gets caught. We know he likes to play in that position. We've seen it a few times from him, even this weekend. So good read to get around the corner so quickly. Even still, they had a second man that would have followed out, and it's a one-and-done spot. Device this time going to go over toward the B side, and it sees that's forward Flamey. He's just rotating back over. He initially went toward the top of middle in case that peek from Guardian didn't work, and they didn't actually throw the A side smoke over to B to actually allow for more time and more utility for C, so that could have been dangerous. But Astralis is playing a much slower pace than we normally see from them.
Yeah, they're going for that banana control once again. Kerrigan, Device, and CSGO, 3-man unit, just pushing back the CTs, trying to establish control of that area, make the CTs expend the smokes they have remaining. The bomb is still down in T-spawn, so they're not going to be executing anytime soon. Zipex and dupreeh is a classic standard from Astralis. 2 heavy areas of conflict for them, banana and the apartments area. Once they have that, that's when they can go and make their mid-round decisions. But this time we haven't got Guardian challenging the apartments or towards banana. He's actually towards the arch side, so that's what you have to watch out for. He's in a different position almost every single round. It's what you need to establish before you can make your next move.
Here we go again. CSGO is going to set the first smoke. That's going to go in behind Guardian at the arch. The second one will land directly in front of him. And Guardian's going to fall away from that position immediately, go more passive on the archway side, go to library, try and hold off and help Edward right now in apartments, but that gives up the top of middle to both dupreeh and Kerrigan. And they're going to try and go again. 1-2 punch. Kerrigan's going to distract, and dupreeh's going to wait for his moment. Zipex is going to pop out of apartments at the same time. They go, and it works. Both of them get an entry kill. It's perfect again from Astralis. And it's dupreeh to find Guardian. He just waited until he was pushed back.
So nice. That's just beautiful CS from Astralis. Getting the map control first, knowing exactly where they want to execute on which side of the map, going towards quad once again this side, and it's an almost identical round to what we saw before. A different stack from Na'Vi here, more coordinated towards the bomb side, but the result's exactly the same. Astralis finding those first 3 kills unreturned, and Seized and Flamey just left on the other side of the map, looking at 6s and 7s here, but what can you do? 5-on-2, and this time Astralis can justify going on the hunt. The money's a little bit stronger, and they know they can start to break Na'Vi at this point.
This is perfect situation. That nearly gets shown.
There it is. Let's go. The boost prevails. And now Deceased cowering towards banana. He will be taken down as well. Lovely stuff there from Astralis. We'll have a look at the money for Na'Vi. They're definitely going to be unique in this round. They could force buy it, be very weak indeed.
Back-to-back, no one dying as well for Astralis on those rounds. Means they're up toward 10K already. That's huge. That's so massive that they're able to pull those rounds off in that fashion.
Yeah, really, really nice stuff from them. Just like I said, textbook Counter-Strike. We're going to random breaks. Na'Vi will indeed be on an eco here. Just Sees investing in the Desert Eagle and body armor as well. He had a little bit more cash than the other guys. Guardian has got 3,200, so definitely has the orb next round. We'll see what he can do as we go into this one.
CSGO is going to get Seized immediately inside of banana. And this is a 4-man stack onto the A side, so that's given up. CSGO and Device, if they start to work that direction, they can start to find this information. They won't even need to confront, which once again means an efficient round from Astralis. They could stay 4 alive. Astralis isn't going to care in this because this is going to put them up towards 15K.
At this point, they're just waiting for the CTs to make the next mistake here. When you're a 5-4 as a CT and you've only got pistols, you need to work out something. You need to get a little bit of intel here and work out how you're going to establish yourself. But Astralis got plenty of time left, still 1 minute 10 on the clock. It'll be starting to deploy some smokes and seeing how the CTs like to show themselves. And there it is. There's the face towards middle. Not finding any kills just yet. But they are going to be edging towards Banana, and that's the perfect place for them. Not a single CT towards that side of the map.
Xyp9x is just going to fall away from this. In through the underpass, and Cajun, here we go. This is it. This is him finding that information. So this looks so good for Astralis.
Yeah.
Na'Vi going to get taken down with one already. There won't be a fast rotate to come in and try and get guns down. Xyp9x does get dinked. But he'll get out of Banana quickly enough. He's going to try and just hold the angle. That Molotov buys him time. Once this bomb goes down, now that they've cleared every possibility, they're taking their time, Astralis, to make sure there's no one lurking and waiting to catch them off. Once that bomb goes down, he'll fade away back to the site. And once this time duration goes on the bomb, they're going to exit through CT. There's no need for them to confront this.
Absolutely. There's nothing to gain at this point. No guns gathered for Na'Vi. You can see them boosting towards T-spawn, but Astralis not falling for that one just yet. They're going to wait for the smoke to dissipate, and Carrigan coming in now. They find 2 kills. Just going to be Edward remaining. He's in the underpass and working out how he's going to approach this situation as he starts to fall back.
It's just Edward. Why not? They are
So
looking to go out this way. This is great. I mean, this is a wonderful round so far from Astralis.
This is what we need to see from them, though. Discipline going forward. They can't afford to throw away anything. So much on the line here. It's a semi-final at the major.
And not to mention, we know Na'Vi is probably right now, and Luminosity, you could argue it, but probably the best T-side team in the world in terms of tactics, in terms of strategic style. Inferno definitely lends itself to picking up rounds for them. So this is big for Astralis to start building back into this. It could have been a disaster. If they got reset at 5-1, this could have been like almost a foregone conclusion.
And what I mean by the risk there as well, like obviously they probably would have got the kill there, but just taking the chance, if someone did lose an AK and Ed was able to take that into the next round, that helps boost the CT economy. And the bigger picture is that actually really beneficial towards the CT. So it's actually really nice from Astralis not to give anything away there. And here we go then, Guardian back on the AWP. It's a faster round this time from Astralis, going straight up towards B. There's only one player there from Na'Vi. That's actually going to be Guardian. Solo or play. Definitely viable, but obviously you need to hit the first shot and be able to fall back here. But Device is going to be challenging him. AWP on AWP option about to come in.
It's a battle of patience, though. Again, discipline is key. It's
Nice.
Cajun there to try and sneak out and get the reface as well. Molotov lands behind Guardian, but he's smart enough not to stay out because that's what they were hoping. They were hoping they were going to find someone off. Now that that's in position, they'll go for the peak. But Guardian gets back inside the site. And although he loses and goes down to 39 HP, it's still an AWP on Guardian that we're talking about. So he's still super viable in that situation.
Yeah, he just needs an inch. It'll take you down. So 39 HP is not a huge problem for him, but he can still feel comfortable. He's going to be rotating towards the spools now. Astralis not capitalizing just yet. More of a default play from them now. They've got the banana control. Bomb is still down towards the T-steps.
Interesting thing is they haven't got any information on B, so they're starting to look toward A, and that's where the stack was initially placed.
Yeah.
It could actually work out for Na'Vi in that sense, but still, it's discipline again. Look at how Astralis is playing this.
It's the same round coming in once again. I think they'll probably execute towards quad, and Zeus and Edward are waiting.
Different position for Flamey this time, though, as he gets in toward the cubby. Molotovs are still up. They could try and cover it off, but Zeus is going to open it, takes down Kerrigan, and that last Molotov, it's going to be used inside the pit instead. And nearly goes down inside the smoke. The damage to Xyp9x is done. Now they go back to B, and Guardian's waiting, but Device has the angle. He looks towards Spools, and Cajun follows up.
Wow, this is so sick from Astralis. After doing that quad play 2 rounds in a row, they've done the exact same smoke, the same flat flank, sent someone in as well as the decoy, and gone straight up towards B. Peeled CTs away, and now it's a really difficult situation. Bomb has been planted, crossfire established, not a single kid on Na'Vi. Do they go for this?
And once again, as the round loss bonus continues to build, this will be eco situation, so saving these 3 rifles is mandatory.
So smart from Astralis there. That's just like perfect calling at that stage. Doing the exact same round, pushing the CTs back, taking away their vision and their intel, and then performing the exact same smokes that have worked so effectively towards the A site, and just having the timing down to a T as they make sure they go into the B bomb site there. Really impressive stuff. And that's going to be their 4th round in a row here. And Na'Vi, after going up 5-0, looking a little bit lost in the gun rounds here. They do manage to keep 3 rifles alive, but the AWP has been dropped, and the money will be a serious problem going to the next one.
It's a good point. I mean, they can't get to Guardian's AWP. Even if they can get that up, we know what an impact it can have. And with 2 guns beside it, 2 other rifles that would have been saved, it might have been viable. But they're going to force up as much as they can around this. Guardian goes to a UMP.
Oh, God. It's obviously a weapon we've seen a lot recently in the current meta. It's obviously viable in gun rounds, but would you rather have Guardian on, a UMP or the weapon he's the world's best at?
Oh, clearly the UMP.
Clear, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, exactly. Seized going to take the fast face bomb, or excuse me, smoke already at the bottom of Banana, so Device is boosted early. If they had overfaced this, it could have been a huge problem. He may just spot this under the Arch's foot. It's definitely got to be showing by now. X-ray is misleading. His Device hasn't responded to this. He's trying still to see that.
Flame is aware this is a possibility, the boost is coming. You can see him getting behind the pillars there. Device known for this boost time and time again. He normally gets something out of it, but Flame is a little bit too smart this time. He is going to be edging out slightly, going to give something away. Okay, after being so disciplined for so long, decides to face, and Device, his patience pays off. And they get the man advantage. It's going from bad to worse for Na'Vi right now.
Guardian has to play top middle. With that UMP, Kerrigan's going to set for the Molotov. This will bounce in toward the atrium so they can clear off the angle. We've seen Zeus be playing in that position a few times throughout this match, and here it is, the set cross positions. Tries to time the shot into the flash device in case anyone wanted to peek off of it, but no one does. Guardian can't. It's just, again, the UMP, so Kerrigan gets an easy kill. Zeus, though, follow it up. He is in that position at quad. He walks back out, and it works perfectly. Thankfully, Device gets one in turn, but it only gives them a man advantage, and Edward still has pit. We know what he can do from this position. A good Molotov to do massive damage, though. And it's all left to Seized. Bomb going down. And he's got to find not only the bomb planter, which Device he'll know is in the site, but the player inside of pit. Good counter, Molotov, good timing as well.
Yeah, not really much he can do here now. They know where he is. He made a lot of footsteps. Going to be smoking him towards the bomb site. Zipex, disciplined as usual. Not going to be overfacing the situation. Knows he'll get some vision before he gets closer to the bomb site. Doesn't land the shot, but it's enough to slow him down. And there it is. The kill comes in. Zipex gets it. It's going to be 5-5. After Na'Vi get 5 in a row, Astralis do the same thing. Interesting round there. Na'Vi trying to do what they can. Pushing down Banana is Flamey.
Hello, Moses.
Hello, Moses.
Zonic reaches in, Device decided to readjust his sleeves. Zonic trying to give him a pat, and Device is like, man, come on, this is my comfort zone.
Just as we were applauding Flamey for that patience and the discipline and not facing, we said, oh, he's obviously aware Device does his boost. He just gifts him the free kill at the start, and that was obviously a horrible situation. Guardian faced to go for that Hail Mary play towards the arch side, and now look at the buy coming in. We have got an AWP, but Zeus on the Max 7. They haven't got a single kit, and Device, he challenges Guardian once again and comes out victorious. 5 on 4, and that seems to be...
This is nuts. I mean, Guardian's not rolling at all right now.
No, definitely.
4 kills only, Seized on 3. The only one that's done anything, and again, it's in that pit position is Edward.
Well then, what's the reaction from the CTs? They've got one player towards B. That'll be Flamey, but he's got one flashbang to hold off the entire Astralis. I'm not really sure what the play is from Na'Vi right now.
Wants that
Come on.
So
oh,
and
no.
it works out, Device! That's why he's so hesitant, because Device was sitting holding the angle the whole time.
He just couldn't reach it, inches away. Just can't grab it, but there it is. Edward coming in, double kill. Zipex is going to answer one back, but it's still a 3-on-2 in favor of Astralis.
Edward is single-handedly turning rounds and giving them a chance here. That was massive to go for that face when he did. Shotgun into Zipex puts him down onto 8 HP as well, so Edward has a chance to find a 3rd kill in this. Still 100 HP on both he and Flamey. No kits, though. But Flamey is inside the B side. If he can stay alive here, if he can avoid detection, he can do an excellent job. And there it is. Edward gets that weakened player, so now they have to go toward this B site. Molotovs are up, but they're not going to use them. They're not going to use them like Luminosity do toward Oranges 1 and 2. And that becomes a bit of an issue because they have to check it. They do try and go toward Emo, but Flamey walks out. It's perfect.
Beautiful stuff there from Flamey. Didn't have any utility to work with. This went for raw aim, and it did deliver. 2 headshots as they made their way in, and that looked like a round Astralis had tied up. Getting that first pick on the Guardian once again. It's Edward the saves and finding 3 kills, and the play from Flamey at the end seals the deal. Lovely stuff from them, and finally they're back in this game, but they're not out of the woods just yet, Matt. That's the reset coming in, and they actually survived that round of 2 players, so there's not quite enough to actually have a full buy in this round. And if they were to lose it, it's going to mean almost certainly a double eco going into the next.
That's a scary, scary thought. So the start they had starts to save them in some sense if they have any chance in this Device. This time not going to go for the boost. He's going to get more aggressive, try and hold the angle toward Carr. There's no AWP once more. Out on Navi's side, and Device finds the shot on Flamey to start things off.
Device really coming to life here on Inferno. He does find the first pick once again. It's going to be 2 players still towards B. Zeus and Flamey holding strong. I say Flamey, he's dead. It's Seized with him. It's still a 5-on-4, and they're trying to reclaim the banana here. Need to get a kill back.
Dupree's going to lurk up as well right now. He has the bomb, but still on the A site just to make note of it as Zipex holding down the apartment area so that they can keep some control and try and give them an option late. And this is aggressive, this boost above the smoke. Oh, he didn't quite see it. Now he took back, and he's going to be Kerrigan with no idea he's there.
Now they can pull back. They've got the man advantage. Like they've rectified the situation, so That's what they had to do. Up against the ropes now. One smoke and 2 flashbangs. As Astralis try to work out how they approach this next situation. Looking like a B play coming in as we hit the 45-second mark.
Wait for that smoke to dissolve at the top of mid. Edward again, though, still holding onto this quad side. Guardian's there, back turned. Edward expecting a flash. He's going to try and time this. And Guardian's got to hit the follow-up shot because he's going to be in no man's land. Edward goes for the peek fast, and Cajun, there's no angle for Guardian. He has to sit back. It's UMP in the pit. They've already spotted him, and it's, oh, timing is everything.
That's it. I don't think the CDs can justify going for this one. This round means everything, but they need to take some rifles in the next round. They can't just go in for a double eco. There's no chance of winning this. 4-on-2. And Zeus and C is the last player remaining. You can see Zeus is out already, but C still fancies something. He's going to be edging his way towards apartments. I'm not really sure the approach is here. One player saving. I'm not entirely sure why C would risk losing his rifle, but he's going to spot Device through the rafters there and actually takes him down. So he gets something out of it, at least $300, but I'm not sure that was worth it.
He's going to try and get in toward Boiler as well. See if there's anything else to grab, any utility on the corpses as he checks them inside of Boiler. But that's going to be it. They're not going to get any more from this. Xyp9x with enough HP, he can go to the corner, stay alive in that position, and the other two, they'll get out through CT because they've got the information. Navi's not there. Late charge here from Zeus. He's trying to pick up anything they can. There's actually a confrontation, but no one's dead yet. No one's dead yet. Zeus gets away, so he didn't miss anything.
He got the orb.
Oh, he did too. You're right. That's huge.
So that is huge. I've always said it. No matter what his teammates have in terms of weaponry, if you give Guardian an orb, some crazy stuff can go down, Matt. That's actually a really impressive play towards the end there. They knew what the orb was. It was a high-risk maneuver, but it paid off. Now this round becomes interesting.
Xyp9x was the only one that was there. You could hear the gunfire, so you're dead right. He got to that AWP, and now Guardian's on it, but how's the play? Because every time he's faced middle, he's been taken down. He's been losing the battle with Device. It was a little bit late this time getting there. He goes through the smoke. They're pushing up aggressively, and Device wins it again. Guardian's down, but watch Zeus. He's not detected. Does spot up Cajun, does damage, but now he's in the open, and Kerrigan's going to turn around and find him.
Really good communication there from Astralis, and Device once again opening up the map. I say it was Guardian that was going to dominate with that orb, but so far it's been Device time and time again winning the duel. Edward currently sat on 16 frags. He's saving them in all these dire situations. But this round he's only got a 5-7, so it's going to come down to Seized and Flamey. They've got the rifles, but it's still a 4-on-3 in favor of Astralis. And they've got plenty of time to work with here as well, and all of their utility. Haven't had to expend anything yet. And the CTs, just a note, have 1 HE remaining to hold them off.
Whatever that's worth.
Yep, if anything.
It's Edward that's holding it 5-7 for him. Bomb inside of the apartments. 50 seconds. They've got lots of time to still evaluate the map. But Device and Dupree are coming back up middle. Need to watch for Seized in this position. Seized got a chance. There it is. The MVP on this map, the chicken, but Seized not going to peek on this. Smoke goes off in front of him. He can actually sit behind that, but that does reveal the fact that Astralis are all going to go toward the truck side of this, and Edward again inside pit, but he has no rifle this time. He's already smoked off, spotted, has to fall back. Molotov's out. Xyp9x is using it perfectly. Every time he comes out of apartments, he's forcing Edward to relocate, and that's going to allow him to get the kill. Seized got one pushing back through that smoke, but that's all he can manage, and the bomb's going to go down again.
This is another full investment from Navi, and it's a 3-on-2. They have got a kid on Siege. You can see them rotating and working out if there's any kills available to make this an opportunity at least. Siege picks up the orb and needs to find this first frag to even have a chance of taking this round.
It's such a subtle play, but so smart in the fact that Xyp9x throws that Molotov because it's a headshot position behind that statue, so he doesn't give Edward the advantage to try and shut him down on entry.
But once again, they have salvaged the AWP, 2 of them in fact, Matt. So that's quite a lot, considering they're only getting $1,900 into the next round. I said it before, when Guardian has the orb, he seems to deliver every time, but unfortunately in this series, he's actually been very quiet indeed. It's been Device, it's been the full MVP, and they will be saving his orbs.
Oh, rip chicken.
Are we still talking about the chickens?
As if we zoomed in and to watch his demise.
I was looking at the orb and saving those, but chickens are interesting as well, that's fine.
What the people want, Henry. It's not about you.
Anyway, so like I said, $1,900 for Navi, but they have got 2 orbs. They'll be tempted to force up into this. The money is getting a little bit dire for them. This has been a massive problem for Navi in the past. Lots of force buys and not getting much for it. As we go into round number 14, they need this round to work as Astralis have taken the lead now, 7 plays 6. Navi actually only picked up 1 round since their 5-0 lead.
It's remarkable considering Astralis, the way they've come back into this game and the efficiency with which that they did so, because 2 straight rounds, they didn't lose a single member. They built their bank so massively that they could just control this control the pace, bleed out all of the utilities from Na'Vi, and right now they're going to have to get aggressive, find something opening, but they're on to just the pistol with Zeus right now, so he can't win the range battle inside the hallway at A Apartments, and that's right now occupied by 3 Astralis players. Late Molotov to come out, that's from Flamey, playing behind the sandbags. He's thrown that every single time he plays that position, so there is some read that Astralis can get on that.
Well, so far, they are just going to be holding towards second mid. This looks like more of an execute-based play with the smokes. Device just holding towards B. With the AWP, seeing if anyone will challenge him. He's being very patient, though. We have got an AWP towards outside of the map for the CTs, but they're not going to be facing just yet.
Seized is just desperate for that angle to work. It's Guardian that's toward Library, so it is a passive hold on the A site. Try and give these pistols a chance, namely the one that's on to Zeus. He's going to stay inside the smoke. He wants this close angle with Xyp9x, who once again is going to throw that Molotov, but it's going to be confronted by 2. And Edwards changes angle away from Pit rather than inside of it this time, so it is a slight curveball. It's Kerrigan to drop first. Edwards got it because of the change, but look at Device. Immediately on B, takes down Flamey, and the bomb's gone in. The rotation came early. They sold this perfectly, and Dupree's position's even better. Guardian's gone.
That's so perfectly played. Dupree gets another one as well. It's another long con here as they fake towards the A side. Perfect smoke, so much attention granted towards them. And Cajun being Device just capitalized towards B. It's Device to open up the B side again with the AWP, and Device with Dupree, in such perfect positioning in that arch area. Takes down 2. Xyp9x finds Zeus as well, and that's going to bring Astralis in towards an 8-6 lead as we go into round number 15. Zeus does find 1, but now they know where he is. He definitely wants to save the AWP. 2 players remaining. I'm sure Xyp9x will be on the hunt here, but let's see what Cajun B can do as well. What are we shouting?
Apparently the old organization by which Astralis used to play.
That's changed, guys.
Yeah, that doesn't work anymore.
Why not?
The players decided to be businessmen as well, and they are taking care of business right now. Another round's going to go their way. AWP saved once more, though, so they are bringing those over round to round, and it's Seized this time who's actually dropped this. I'm wondering if this is Spawn. Okay, they did go back to Guardian late because he was buying out a rifle instead.
So the CT side of Inferno, one of Guardian's great maps actually with the AWP. He's always doing fantastic work and being very dynamic and moving around and causing chaos. He's actually only on 4 for 11. Quietest game he's had this whole tournament, I have to say, so far. It's Device just handling him every single time. And now we go to the final round of the half. UMPs, Max 7s, Famouses, and they have got the AWP though. Just to deliver this round.
To paint the picture with the scoreline as well, Edward leads the way by 7 kills, actually, excuse me, 6 kills over Device, who has 11 in the server, but Edward's on 17. A one-man show right now. I mean, if Guardian was even half in this, it would make a huge difference.
Well, Edward only has the Max 7 this round. It's going to be much harder to deliver those sort of numbers with that weapon, but...
And Guardian, you'd expect him to hit that shot any day of the week, any second, any hour, and he misses that one again, so he's fallen back, and they know where the AWP is playing at this point as well.
Well, look at
good positioning, though. This is different for them to have this position right now. That Edward's in and toward bedroom, and it's going to be Xyp9x that spots it late, gets away from it. He's not even going to face that. He doesn't want any chance of giving away his AK-47, but finally, Guardian takes down Device.
Yeah, lovely shot from him, and it's one they needed as well, but it looks like Astralis are coming into the B side. Flamey coming in from spawn, takes down Kerrigan. They have a huge advantage now. Surely this is their round.
Smoke off on CT late. There is a rotation going towards Spools. Flamey's there, and it's Guardian that's stuck in the back of the site. He's going to have to buy some space here, Flamey, for Guardian. And they've already spotted up the first player. Flamey's actually going to try and time this. It's Cajun B. Low HP goes down. Dupree sitting in the open. Headshot from Flamey. Bomb dropped. 38 seconds to recover it. But it's just Xyp9x remaining.
Yeah, 5 kills to find as well. Guardian finally doing something here on the final round. Lovely shot onto Device. And then at that point, once you have that man advantage, you can fall back. Astralis trying to force the situation, but it's Flamey going absolutely huge. Xyp9x making things interesting at the end, but redundant overall as it's the last round. 8 plays 7 for Astralis in the first half of the terrorist side. After going down 5-0, Matt, you have to say it's a very impressive comeback indeed.
And that's one of the most disciplined and strategic-oriented halves I've ever seen from Astralis, not only on Inferno, but ever. The patience that they played with is something that we've not seen from them. The discipline they had, how they were bleeding out time, bleeding out utilities, and utilizing smokes, was that was something else from Astralis.
That was an absolute mastermind set of calling from Astralis there. Their quad executions were just perfect. It worked like 2 or 3 times, and then the fakes they were chucking in as well in the mix. Navi just had no idea what was going on. They took the bait every single time. Just working as a pack, great smokes, great flashbangs, and making sure the entry frags are working effectively. Kerrigan stepping up in a lot of those situations as well, and making chaos happen when the fakes are coming in. Dupree with great positioning and holding off the flanks in the fakes as well. Just a really nice Alpha counter-strike from them. There's textbook stuff, and this is a prime example right now of that initial quad take. Just look how controlled it is, so methodical.
So sick. I mean, Kerrigan's the guy behind the reins of calls, and again, I have to iterate, that was just such a good half of Counter-Strike. And as we said, Na'Vi, yes, okay, they've got 7 rounds to work, or excuse me, 7 rounds to work with. Going onto the T side, we know that they're capable of accumulating rounds, so this isn't done yet. If they can get the pistol, get rolling, it's the same effect the other direction, but Astralis has done such a good job, and now we know their T side, or excuse me, their CT rather, I get tripped up on which team's which right now, but is actually quite dynamic, and they can actually play. So another map where, yes, Device has gone back to be the primary op, but they can run a double op setup. Sure. They can 3-man on B for the fast pick and then rotate. They've got lots of different approaches that they like to take out of spawn and try and get that first pick early, to get that aggression early on the CT side.
It's looking like we are getting into the second half. We can still hear the chants of the chicken, of course. I'm sure he'll be making an appearance a few more times.
There's definitely an overabundance of chickens on Inferno, for whatever reason.
Well, we are getting to the second half now. We'll have a look at the buys coming in for both teams. Na'Vi desperately need this pistol just to revitalize themselves, and Guardian needs to come to life here. But here we go. 3 sets of armor so far for Na'Vi. Sees on the utility play. He's going to have the smoke grenade and 2 flashbangs. And Flamey yet to buy. He's keeping the $800 for now. There it is. The armor does come in. So 4 sets of armor. That to me suggests either a fast mid play or going straight towards Banana and smoking spawn.
And just to talk about the coaching role, you see Zonic there with a flip book of pages and notes, counter-stratting. That's where they come in. That's where coaches are so viable. They've got so much time to analyze, and we'll see what they've got planned. But Guardian right now has got the first pick. Edward and Guardian together just absolutely mow down the 3-man stack that's inside Banana.
Just a full-on rush B. Why not? And there's actually 3 players from Astralis stacked up there as well. It's Zeus to find the 4th. Just Zipex wondering what in God's name just happened to them. And it's the B rush that prevails. No damage really inflicted, but there it is. The first kill comes in for the CT. He's taking out Edward with the headshot. At this point, he's just trying to farm a little bit of cash here, Zipex.
He's just going to try and hold this out, but he's surrounded, completely surrounded.
Nice,
through
maybe.
CT. They're trying it. They're trying it. They want that extra 1,500. It nearly costs them dearly, but they get him down in the end with the pistol.
Well then, it's a very simple one, but sometimes they're the most effective strategies. 4 players rushing B and just finding those kills. 3 players from Astralis just didn't make anything happen. They got their heads ripped off, and Guardian found 2. As we're going to the second round here, 3 AKs and 2 UMPs for Na'Vi, and no force buy from Astralis, but they have got an incendiary and 4 HE grenades. You do have the option to nade down the beginning, the top and middle at the very start, or you can go towards Banana and do 4 nades and try and do a massive amount of damage. Considering that's where Na'Vi went last round, that could be viable. And it's looking like 4 players stacked towards B for Astralis. First kill coming in from Edward, taking down Carrigan. But the HEs do come over the top of the back wall of B, and they don't actually do too much. Seeds has gone down to 6 HP, but they haven't found a kill from it. Now, A bomb site is open. They would have saw that all those nades flew over, and of course, that gives away where the CT positions are. Okay.
Ooh. It's all good.
It's all fine.
Little blue screen error. That's fine. Perhaps a blue screen error from Astralis' CT start because they've given up that round, as you say, and it's a single UMP that's going to be picked up, though. That's in the hands of Zipex. We'll see if he can do some damage with this. This is actually smarter. He's going to fade away immediately rather than trying to drop rifles. He'll save this gun because, as mentioned, the CTs, they can't afford to force in nearly as much early on. So this will give him a bit more arsenal coming into the 3rd round.
Yeah, they'll just be trying to defend Zipex as he makes his way to the B side. It's going to turtle up and save the UMP. The other CTs, on the other hand, just have 5.7s and PT50s. They can justify getting in some sneaky positions and seeing if they can find one of the rifles they see. It's a little bit audacious when he has 6 HP. And an AK in hand. I'll just be hiding in the apartment rather than him. That's exactly why. As he gets dropped, you can see now the team's reacting, trying to make sure they deny that AK being picked up.
And may just get there in time. Device limited inside the kitchen. Crucially, though, Zipex does stay alive with that UMP. Where do you play a single UMP on Inferno? Yes, you mentioned there's tight choke points, but where is it going to be viable in a situation where they're going to try and look for it, knowing that it's been picked up?
You could do a crossfire towards the cubby at Arch and have someone trying to bait you in, and like you just come and explode out, and you have a flashbang or a smoke to kind of hide you in. Like, there's not many options. It's not like he's going to set the world on fire with that weapon, but if you can find a kill and maybe pick up an AK, could get interesting, I guess. Let's see where Zipex decides to go. He'll be going towards B, and he could go towards sandbags or the tight left angle. We'll see what he decides to do. Actually getting a little bit aggressive here. Chuck the smoke down towards the bottom, so maybe he wants to push with this.
And it is Carrigan and Zipex that are looking to be the players back on the B site. They did try to bring, again, in all this reshuffling that they were doing, Device and Dupree to play those positions, but Carrigan and Zipex are just so good at it. Device goes down early. That's the MAC-10 kill. Dupree spotted up inside Boiler, and Zipex has brought that UMP back over, but it's spotted by Edward immediately, who turns around and takes down Cajun B, so he's building up money. 3 kills on that MAC-10.
It's a pretty simple round here. Technical stuff from Na'Vi. They take all 5 frags without dropping a single one. Edward farming a lot of cash at the MAC-10 there. 3 kills for him. And we go into round number 19 here. The buy comes in for Astralis. AWP on Device, of course. No AWP yet for Navi. They could actually buy one and upgrade that Mac 10, swap weapons with Guardian. I would say that would be pretty viable at this stage considering the situation of the game, but they're going for that bonus round, as what we discussed before. Keeping an SMG and trying to keep the cash as strong as possible for the terrorist side can be very beneficial in the bigger picture of the game. But Device now won't have anyone challenging him in terms of sniper battles.
Xyp9x is going to be solo in B right now. They're putting a lot of pressure onto it as well. Na'Vi, we talk about their clinical slow pace. They're actually looking quite quick right now, and Xyp9x is going to get caught right now. He's got to get back into the site, but there's no way to do it. The crossfire and the angles held. It's Flamey to take him down. The rotation from dupreeh. It's just barely going to get here in time, because if a smoke came out, he would have had to rotate through spools, and it would have given the entry, but they're still going on this. Kerrigan's just coming in late. Good shot from dupreeh. Gets to Orange's one and finds the first kill.
Not overcommitting as well. Gets one frag and slows Navi right down. They've had to readjust himself, but look at C's on the other side. He could catch Device out here. This frag's going to be huge, and it's Device with a headshot as well. What a shot that was. 4-on-2 now, and Guardian and Edward making their way towards middle, but they're going to be calculated and try and work out where the next CT lies. That's going to be Cajun B up in apartments.
Agent B, he just walks them in. Guardian gets spotted, takes down Edward. Bomb was dropped. There was no chance for Na'Vi in that one. Device is sick.
That was such a sick shot, you're right. It looked like he was caught out of position there, but look at this reaction. In fact, he lands a headshot as well. Good night, C's. 10 plays 9 now. Astralis bounce back in the second half. But money's still strong, like as I mentioned before. Na'Vi, with that bonus round, have plenty of cash, and now Guardian does have the AWP. So this is the first real gun run going into this one.
Guardian has to use this AWP. This is when he has to come alive. A little bit early to mid. He's got their Device, goes for the fast peek, but immediately falls back. He doesn't want to face this. He won it on the T side. Doesn't want to make the same mistake that Guardian did by overcommitting to it. Xyp9x again going to play forward solo on this B site, so he needs to be a little bit careful. Thankfully for his sake, last time they took a bit of time to take him down to get that refrag. Otherwise, as I said, those rotations from dupreeh, it wouldn't have been there, and he wouldn't have been inside of Orange's one where we saw him make that play. So there's 4 aggressive A strat off the start. They need to be careful and weigh it out accordingly. If Na'Vi catch on, it could be problems. Smokes out though. Seized is going to wait toward the car. Xyp9x and Kerrigan both forced back inside the B site. We haven't seen Astralis throw that deep banana smoke that they were known for about 4 to 5 months ago, so they have definitely changed things up despite using the same 2 players in that position.
Well then Guardian is going to be holding towards middle, seeing if anyone will dare face him, but Device is poised and ready towards the outside. We have got Xyp9x and Kerrigan towards B, but Na'Vi with the banana control, going to be smoked out for now. That's going to cost them some time. It's looking like they're setting up for a B play here, potentially a B split. Let's see whether the CTs are able to hold this off. Time ticking away as we hit the 35-second mark.
Device with a wider angle, just holding tight, but misses the first shot. Has to fall back, smokes out on both sides right now, and that's going to give quad control to Na'Vi. Crossfire's trying to be established location inside the site. They brought Device back as well, and dupreeh, he gets up on the fence at Graveyard. Xyp9x has one. They're going to go on B because A's lost. Bombs down. Guardian gets at least 1 kill, but it's 1 versus 3. And this is desperate. Baits out the plant. Knows there's one. Kerrigan toward construction, and he's desperate to try and pull him out, but he's got 12 seconds. He has to find this, and Kerrigan is so smart. He will go down in the end, and Guardian, he's just going to have enough time.
Not smart enough, apparently, but the bomb will be planted, you're right. 2-on-2 now, and Guardian Flamey on very low HP.
Super low, desperately low. As Device gets around, but Guardian's found dupreeh, so now he's starting to have an impact. And Device, as you mentioned, this is a reset potential. He's got to reconsider this, but he knows it's just a 2 versus 1, so he goes anyway. He's got Guardian down. He finds Flamey, but Flamey's got the headshot instead.
What a shot from Flamey with such low HP as well. You thought Device had that one tied up after the first kill, but Na'Vi come out on top. A really nice execution, very similar from what we saw from Astralis, actually. All the smokes towards A, selling the fate with 2 players, finding frags and pulling CTs away from the B site and actually executing in with 3. And finding the kills in Guardian, like you said, clever play to take down Kerrigan with the fake plants. And a close clutch situation, but this shot from Flamey sealed the deal. So controlled and calm in that situation. And that round meant everything as well. And now Astralis will be on pretty much full EQ. You can see Cajun B and dupreeh have got some body armor here, but just pistols. PD-50s and a CZ. And Kerrigan has a 5-7 good measure.
So this could potentially put Na'Vi up toward 12 rounds. This is exactly what we were talking about, getting that good start. Smoke's already set. Xyp9x going to try and go undetected. Kerrigan will wave the red cape and distract. Zeus He's the first one around the corner. The first smoke has gone out towards CT. Will they check this or not? Kerrigan's done his job, but now they consider it. The second man in, Guardian covers the off angle. Really well done, and then turns, finds Device immediately after. It's an AK for Guardian, but it works. He's got 2 kills, and they're in the site.
Yeah, not really much to report this round. Astralis unable to really inflict any damage there with their B-hold. Navi coming in with the simple execute, smokes towards Spore, Molotovs over the site, flashing the CTs out, making them face, and just hitting the easy shots in that situation. Cajun being Dupree. The players of Armor actually do survive, as I said, though Flamey finds him. And now it's going to be a 5-on-1. Cajun just cowering towards CT Spawn, hoping he can find a player here, but it's not meant to be. 12 plays 9 now. It's going to be 5 plays 1 here in the second half. And Navi, very similar scenes to what we saw at the beginning of the first half, actually. So Astralis always have the potential to bounce back, and their money situation right now isn't fantastic. Kerrigan only had 1,400 last round, 1,900 going into this one, so he has 3,300 total. They need to decide how he's going to go into this round. I'd assume maybe he gets a shotgun. Device will be investing into the AWP, but it's such a distinct lack of utility so far. He's only got the AWP, and that's it. And we'll get a couple of smokes now with Zipex and Kerrigan working out how they approach the situation. So a pause comes in. I think this is a good time to take a pause, Matt. This is a difficult situation for them. Money isn't great. They need to work out how they're going to balance the books with Kerrigan. This time he's going to be investing towards the Famas and 1 smoke. I think that's probably the best protocol here, as he just gets body armor. Of course, against AK-47s, head armor isn't always required, but you can see on the other side, Zeus has a UMP. And with 3 players without head armor, that gun becomes even more viable.
It's super viable. I mean, this is a must-win round for Astralis. This will put Navi on 13, facing Eco for 14, and then Astralis has to try and claw back in, I mean, desperately, because again, Navi, T-side, they'll do everything they can to bleed you down, just wear you, grind you, until you can't do anything, until it's all over.
Indeed.
Right now, I'm just taking a peek. The spawn position for Device. He's actually got he's looking toward mid, but he's got a B spawn.
Interesting as well that Navi have plenty of cash to get the AWP, but they seem like they're having more success with the rifle setup so far. It's actually doing set pieces and executing with fakes, and that seems to be working as a tight unit here. Astralis not giving anything away in terms of the pick, so they feel like they're more effective as this sort of formation. And Guardian's actually having a much better second half. He's kicked 13 frags after only reaching maybe 5 or 6 in the first half. This will be round number 22. The pause will be coming to an end in 20 seconds. But I'm just trying to work out what Astralis can do. Obviously, Device needs to go massive here. The CT side Inferno as well, you have many options with the AWP. You can obviously go face towards apartments. You can face down second middle. You can go towards banana. You can try and surprise the terrorists, try and find that first pick. I'd assume that's what they have to try and do here. 1 kit and not many grenades to play with. Device needs to find something out of this. As you mentioned, looking towards middle. Could just face towards T-steps. It's a little bit predictable, but good news is Navi don't have the AWP, so that boosts his percentage chances at least finding that first pick. Here we go then.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely committed to mid right now. You can just see it. His temperament inside of spawn. There it is, looking toward mid right now. In turn, with no AWP against them, will anyone even be available for this, though? Will there anyone be facing Device? Cajun B is going to wait. This is the smoke that's going to be thrown from A to add extra utility onto that B site to buy those players more time, potentially get Zipex in a position where they could rotate Kerrigan early. But it has been passive for them inside of Banana. They know that Navi like to take control of it early, so they're not trying to establish that dominance and get Zipex down toward the tree, where he, again, has been known for in multiple situations. How quickly, though, look at Edward. He's already up the apartment hallway right now. He's already looking toward Cajun B at pit.
Yeah, efficient stuff from him so far. Cajun is in the pit, and Dupree will be backing him up as well, but this next frag means everything.
And as soon as they heard that, Dupree starts to backpedal a little bit because he knows that there's a chance they can bust out through apartments, and Cajun, if they go fast enough, might not be able to shut them down, and then they have problems giving up pit. But it is definitely a Navi. A minute still in the round and already looking to execute. This is, again, faster pace from them, so we're seeing much different sides from both of these teams.
They've got full mid control as well. Device has fallen back towards the library area. Great position for him. If anyone from Navi does decide to face, he should hit this shot. The flashbang hits him fully, though. Has to fall back and smoked out for now as well. What's the next move here? The bomb's still down towards second middle. There
it is. The smoke's used so well. Device has to change his angle to look toward apartments just to find a kill, just to do something. As Edward, he's going to get up. He's just going to hold this corner as well. But he needs to be careful because as he gets in, he's blinded up, and the player at apartments, Cajun B, could have nearly spotted him. That's exactly what happens. He goes down, and Device misses a huge shot, but the second time's a charm. Goes back out, and now Dupree in the pit. It's a shutdown from Astralis. It's just Guardian and Flamey. They're desperate to get in. Dupree's got the other. Pops up. Flamey gets at least 1 kill back, but it's him versus 4. Nearly gets Zipex. A little bit scary and close, but it is Astralis.
It was actually a really nice execution from Navi there. It looked really promising. They'd pushed the AWPers back, smoked off the key areas, but going one by one through the smokes. It looked like a little bit too easy for CSGO up in the apartments edge. Had a lot of damage from there. And at that point, Device is able to reposition himself from Library and just miss a shot before he actually gets another one. So a lot of time granted before Navi made their way onto the bomb site. And it brings things in 12-10, sorry. But that's the first round. The reset potential coming in once more. Their money's still not fantastic. You see Famises are out on Carrigan, but they have got a lot of grenades this round. All back out on Guardian this time. A change of pace for them.
It is, yeah, still passive again. Xyp9x at the top of Banana. Guardian, he's just waiting at the back side of apartments right now, the T side of apartments, for anyone to push. So this will just let the AKs go to work, try and get that map control. So we're not seeing the aggressive hybrid style from Guardian yet, where they try and use him to get the first pick. They use him when they get toward the sites. And it looks like a Banana right now that's going to get a little bit more attention from Na'Vi.
Indeed. 4 players towards that side of the map. We have got Flamey holding the flanks towards apartments. CTs still have smoke grenades. Xyp9x has one, Carrigan has the incendiary, so they can hold them off when the push comes in. Still a minute to play with. Now they don't have to fully commit to this side, but the smokes, will the execute start to come? Will they be committing towards this?
Smoke on spools.
I think they're waiting for the reaction and seeing if the CTs throw anything back. They still have 2 smokes available, making 3 actually on the terrorist side, and that's the smoke they wanted to bait out from the CTs. With so much time to play with as well, that's perfect news for the terrorist side.
And Device is yet to budge on that archway side. He'll be the first rotation, but they don't have information yet on Navi's positions. Molotov to go toward the back of the site, in toward new box. Xyp9x though playing over closer to Evo. Orange is 1, the Orange is 2 failed. It didn't land. So they actually still have Carrigan in position. He might be able to do something there, and it does. A failed Molotov, they're not ready for it. Device rotates fast, cuts 1 from CT. But Edward gets back into Xyp9x, and it's a 2-2 trade with bomb going down for Na'Vi.
Yeah, they're smoked out for now. Dupree makes his way towards construction. Flashbang's coming over as well. They have got control of that garden area of this Device, rattling off shots with the AWP. CSGO from Banana takes down Zeus. Now a real opportunity is the 3-on-2. Guardian
staring down that CT position. This is the first shot on Dupree. He's going to try and advance on that second one as well as he goes for the fast peek. Third, not going to happen. CSGO, he gets Guardian. They know Edward's inside of Evo, and it's Dupree that gets him.
What a retake that was. So coordinated. CSGO stepping out massively. He's way taken from Banana. He's got such a disadvantage in that position, but lands the shots that are required. And it was 2 players being dropped, and that execution for Na'Vi was so cool, actually. The fact they went towards B and just baited out all the smokes in the CTs and allowed themselves still have enough utility to fully Molotov and smoke off key areas. They managed to get the entry kills, but wasn't quite enough on the retake as Astralis find all the players without dropping 1. And we're going to round number 24. 12 plays 11 now. The money not fantastic for Na'Vi. You can see they've got 2 smokes, 1 flashbang, and Guardians on full glass cannon AWP. This would take them down to an eco if Astralis could win this round and tie things up at 12-12.
Dupree right now, the only one over on quad side, has 3 that are on the opposing side of the boiler at alt mid, and Zeus is going to try and jump up and get inside of it quickly. Thankfully, they brought CSGO back over to that pit position, so different from what we saw from Edward, who was extremely good, I have to say, despite the troubles that Na'Vi had at holding that pit position. It's actually sort of a 2-man approach from Astralis, because Dupree's been supporting on CSGO so commonly, and in fact letting CSGO get aggressive, as we see here again, jumped up on top of the balcony. It's Dupree that just watches the off angle from Boiler and turns as soon as CSGO calls for it, but he's getting aggressive. He's going to spar off against Zeus. Bomb down, needs to find the second, but Edward's there for the refrag, and CSGO's just going to be patient in all of this, but Seized has Carrigan. 1 rotator already down. Device has to cover in. Oh, toward the Chuck. Slow reaction. Can't find it, but CSGO does drop bomb. It's still a refrag. Pit's given up. This is really good for Na'Vi.
Yeah, Device had the chance to get a couple of frags there, not landing the shots this time. 3-on-2. And Na'Vi, with that final smoke, will be locking him out as he has to decide to push through. Xyp9x coming from quad. Can he get this next kill? He's going to take a hell of a lot of damage there. And I don't think this is viable now for Astralis.
Edward, though, catching Zip at the top of mid. Device has to fade away. So the reset, it's not going to come in as mentioned. Device, if that kill had to come in, that would have been massive because everyone's in 3 digits right now in terms of money on Navi's side, so it would have been a lot harder for them to try and rebuy into this.
Yeah. Well, he will be saving the AWP, but Na'Vi, such a low buy from them. Like I said, Guardian, Glass Cannon had 1 smoke and a flash to play with. They're staying as a tight unit, getting the mid control, and working as a trading machine as they make their way to the A site, and Device won't save the AWP. You're absolutely right. Money in Astralis camp isn't fantastic, you know. They could buy this with 2 players, sub 4K. You can see Dupree and Xyp9x on 3,000. They will be buying up into this. He's going to go with the max 7. Xyp9x can't really do much more than a 5-7 in armor here. As you're going to round number 25, not a single kit. And once again, Astralis up against the ropes. This is a huge round for Navi. If they were to win this one, it would actually be almost full eco for Astralis. So this round map, although we're at 13-11, could mean map points.
Absolutely the case. Guardian again on that AWP is just going to hold the bottom of middle as Edward. All things considered. Dupree with that shotgun trying to play close at top mid. It's not often you see it outside of Boiler. Normally it's inside the stairwell at apartments, but Flamey's going to be the one heading that direction. Finds out that it's clear. They've already Molotov'd in through Boiler, through the hole in the wall, and cover off the bedroom as well. Dupree's desperate for this. Needs to be careful not to overextend to his right. He'll be faced, but he does get Edward. That's one way to use a Mag 7.
What a shot that was. That's all they needed. Something to give them the advantage going into this one.
And they're still inside of these apartment positions. They haven't given up on this thought just yet because they know it's a Mag 7. So what else are they lacking in their buy? Do they have these rifles up? That's the question. They still don't have that information on where the M4s, if there are M4s playing. I'm sure they expect some, but how many and where?
Well, Navi being very slow and methodical right now. Going to be bunching up towards the quad side. It's going to be Dupree and KGB with the crossfire device. Not far behind as well. What's the next movement was Navi this time?
They've given Guardian so much space here, though. He's already overlooked Pit. He's covered off toward the statue, but by the time he finds the man inside of it, Dupree's going to be facing the flashbang. It's not quite there, but he does actually tag up Cajun B through the edge of the truck. That allows Zeus, but good position. Again, Dupree, the Mag 7 tries to go for the jump. Needs to find the next kill, but it's Zeus instead. And suddenly now Bomb will go down, and as you said, this round had everything riding on it, and they're still considering it. They know how important it is. Kerrigan's going to push through the smoke, try and wrap back through quad. Xyp9x has to distract, flashbang out to try and support him around the corner. But it's two players inside Pit facing him down, one of which is Guardian. And now they know it's not possible.
Oh, that's it. Navi looked a bit hairy at times as Dupree. They found 2 Mag 7 kills, but it wasn't enough. The crossfire's not really working out for them. It's Guardian that legged the first player and Zeus to finish him off as they made their way onto the A site. And like I said, a huge round there. Xyp9x just with a 5-7. Kerrigan does save an M4. They go into the next round with $1,900 and 4 players and absolute nothing. Just Dupree with a little bit of cash here. So, as I said, this could mean map points. And the last time these guys played up in this map, it was Astralis that took Inferno. It was the only map they took, in fact, in that best of 3.
Yep, and it's a scary thought when you consider it. Force again, because what choice do you have in this situation? I think there's 3 M4s that have been bought up so far.
Well, they did save an M4 and a 5-7 in body armor, so that helps distribute the wealth a little bit. But 2 M4s here.
It is just the 2. I thought I saw a third come out.
Three pistols, 1 defuse kit, and 4 smokes. Once again, need to be finding that first frag, as Dupree did it with the Mag 7 last round. Someone needs to step up once again. They can't allow a full execution to come in with the lack of firepower they have right now.
So Flamey once again going to try and clear them the apartments. Kerrigan and Xyp9x have been played so passive in that B site the entirety of this game. And they're forced to do the same this time, just strictly by not having rifles. 2 5-7s on B. C's inside a banana already, but it's Cajun again on the balcony with also just a pistol to try and cut this off, to try and make this work. Bombs intentionally dropped at the top of vault middle as well. This will allow them to execute. They'll grab when needed. Not to have it dropped in an awkward position. Potentially throw the round. And again, it's patience from Navi, as always. Dupree's also way back toward Graveyard. Spotted. Flamey. Eyes of a hawk to see him in that position. Through 2 railings. That's such a hard texture to find, but the shot is so perfect, and now it's on device in the sight. He's got one of the M4s, goes to the pop blast, but no one's in the gap. Now they are! He's got 2! Mowed down immediately!
Massively played there from Device. Had to find something. He gets 2. It's not over just yet, though. Flemmy coming to the bomb site. Cajun with the CZ. Gets 2 somehow. Astralis are not done just yet. It's going to be a 4-on-1. C, the last player remaining, is going to get taken down by Kerrigan in the end, and the pistols prevail. Somehow staying alive here. What a round to win from Astralis.
So big, so massive. They were done. Dead. Over. Map 1 gone if that round didn't work out. Set the crossfire and Device, the timing. When he first peeked, no one there. They didn't expect him to be there at all because they'd already checked it, they'd already crossed it. He mows 2 down, and now look at the money. It's back the other way. It's Tech 9s, and only one of them complemented by 2 Deagles on Edward and Guardian. for Na'Vi. This is brilliant from Astralis, a chance back into this.
We thought we were done then. After Flamey got the initial pick as well, somehow Device and Cajun B going absolutely huge there in the 5-on-4 with the CZ and M4. And they are absolutely right, Na'Vi now. Not really much to work with, just P250s, Glocks and a Deagle. Zeus has invested in head armor, so I assume he's got a little bit more money than everyone else, which he does, so that's fine. As we enter round number 27. More of a default here, they're hoping a CT faces and they can make some work with these Desert Eagles. It's going to be Zeus getting control of the apartments, making his way towards Boiler. Flamey edging in towards Banana as well. He's actually going to be challenging. He's only got the P250, so this is a difficult battle for him. Does a little bit of damage. Actually takes Karrigan down to 29 HP, but he does get dropped in the end.
Interesting that he was the one to lurk the offsite that time because he had been doing so much work in apartments before. And C's is going to go the same direction now, hoping that that one single kill might indicate the rest are heading toward A and they catch them in rotation, in transition. But Xyp9x and Karrigan, there's no reason for them to move. They're being disciplined. What a shot from Edward. Refrag onto Device. And I'll potentially grab that of this too because there's smoke and no one peeking out from the pit right now. And he's going to try and hold this. They need to get C's back in position. He's still working onto the B side. He's caught by Karrigan. Bombs down. That's got to be the round.
Yeah, absolutely. Once the bomb's called, Xyp9x holding CT spawn. Edward just desperately hoping that someone rotates in this situation. He's got 30 seconds remaining. No chance of winning, but he has picked up an orb. So something to take away. If he can just survive with that, that's absolutely fine. But he looks like he wants more out of this. Going to be taken down in the end. And Xyp9x to find the final kill. And the scoreline gets ever closer. 14 plays 13 now in favor of Na'Vi. Money's still not fantastic.
Exactly. No bomb plant means that Flamey, Zeus, and Seized all sit within the realms of 3K, between 3 and 4K. It's not an ideal position to be in, but Guardian immediately straight to the AWP. Fortunately for them, he can afford to bring that out.
This is a big play from them. They could have allowed Astralis to get to 14-14 and had tons of cash going into the next one, but they want to get to map point right now. A pause coming in, I think that's a sensible time to take it as well. This is a huge round going forward. If they were to lose this one, there's only $2,400 coming in next round, so a fully invested round. This reverse situation. This could actually mean Astralis getting to map points. It's been a very back and forth affair here, but Astralis firmly in the driving seat this round. Device back on the AWP himself. And Na'Vi now just taking their time to work out how they approach the situation. I would assume they'll be slowing things down. They have a lack of grenades going into the next one, so Guardian will be trying to work the picks, trying to get him mid-control, let him face towards quad, maybe pick towards the arch side as well. But they have got some very articulate executions. We've seen those so far, but as I said before, the lack of grenades are going to make those much more difficult.
And what a way to pull back into this from Astralis again. The most lackluster quasi-buy you could possibly imagine seeing.
Yes, 3 pistols and 2 M4s somehow works out for them. That was a huge round. And if they come back and win this, you've got to feel like that was the turning point.
There's an old chant. Right now, and Avi still trying to talk this out. 38 seconds left to do so. Remember Starix, former player on this roster, replaced by Flamey when he stepped back into the coaching role. He often is vocal in these positions. We talk about Na'Vi getting volatile in so many situations when they do slip away in these leads, but hasn't been much in terms of mistakes made in tilt material. This is just a straight up good fight from Astralis to pull their way back in.
Agreed. And the timeout will be coming to an end here. 10 seconds remain on it. We can see the buy that has come in for Na'Vi. It's 1 Tech 9 unseized, Zeus with the Galil, and 2 AKs. They have got a reasonable amount of grenades here. 4 smokes, a couple of Molotovs, and some flashbangs. But look at the buy for Astralis. It's so strong. They've got absolutely everything within their arsenal, including the AWP on towards Device. We'll have a look at his spawn as well. He has a decent. He could actually go towards apartments with this, or go for the face towards top and middle. Let's see where he decides to go. The battle between Guardian and Device continues.
And it's been Device that's been the victor in so many cases. Have to give props to Edward while we've got a chance to, because he has single-handedly done so much for Na'Vi in this game to even give them this chance. Currently sits on 28 frags, but Guardian not spotting anyone toward top mid. This time it's Dupree that stays passive over on that arch position, but look inside apartments. They actually are going to try and use this. This is different. This is something entirely different. It's the bait and switch play, because with Cajun sitting quietly still in that position, it's going to be Device that falls down the hallway and tries to bait them out or catches the crossfire on a refrag. So Cajun doesn't need to peek the stairwell and get caught where Device can't get the shot again. He just has to wait for them to walk up into the angle where it's favorable, and this might work. They've faded the first player off this, but there's still facing? No, they're not. Cajun's gone all the way back in.
Yeah, change of stance effication. He went aggressive towards the T-steps of Apartment and actually found that first kill on towards Flamey. That shuts them down, and any tactic they had in mind of getting control of that part of the map has been eradicated. 5-4 now, minute remaining. And the lack of equipment they had only gets worse now with a player dropped as well. Device and Dupree holding the arch side, actually playing a very passive setup here, just allowing Navi to come onto the bomb side before any confrontation ensues.
Coordinated jump peeks there we saw from both Guardian and Edward to make sure that they could bait out a shot, give Guardian the chance for the refrag, but that Molotov buys more space and time for Astralis. Device, smoke comes out in front of him. Last time this happened, he faded away and was able to pick one up, but it's Navi changing it up. They're going to try and wrap around through CT. Device is aware, but he spotted it. He's got Zeus. Such good awareness from Device. Nearly gets caught, though, does. Switches to the knife too soon, and now Edward's got CT spawn to work with. It's going to be a segregated Kerrigan and Zipix that are finally going to be tested within the depths of this B site. Zipix is just waiting for this smoke out initially to cover off oranges. That limits Kerrigan's ability from Nubox to try and spray into this, and Zipix is desperate, but he hasn't. He does get one. He finds seized inside of the Guardians into the site, but it's Zipix to turn it around.
Amazing work there from Zipex. Went for the full spray through the smokes. Navi just didn't have time to clear out the site. They throw a smoke on towards the steps, trying to plant them inside it. It's a desperation play, and Zipex wasn't having any of it. He shuts them down, and it's 14-14. It was a nice idea from Navi. They went for the B split through CT spawn. 2 players at B, 2 for spawn. Couldn't find the frag. Device found one, and this gave the early call to his teammates, and they were just so ready for that play. Navi now forced by, of course, round number 29. We've gone the full distance here. They've got 1 Galil, PG50s, and Tech 9s. They're all in this stage. And Astralis homing in on map points here in our first semi-final of the day.
Device, quick shot into the flash. No one peeks accordingly. Does force him back, though, again. At least to the corner. Smoke's looking to go front library once more. Again, though, they smoke about that time. He finds the kill regardless. He's just got such good awareness, and he's able to adapt in those situations. Device having an excellent game, and he finds Flamey, who goes alone. He's trying to bait out the shots. It does force Device back because he is tagged up. He's down to 12 HP, but they've already rotated Kerrigan over, and he's going to go passive, though. The smoke on the archway means he can't come into the fight. Device spots one going by. No, scope doesn't hit it. Where's the refrag? He's low. He's on 12. He has to be so careful. And Edward gets up. That smoke, Kerrigan couldn't do anything about it. Seized. He's walked in. They're both down. Navi might find the first map point, and it's them with the quasi-buy this time. Kerrigan trying to get ground back into the site that they lost. The bombs planted. That's almost going to seal it. It's just Kerrigan 1 versus 4.
What an audacious play that was from Device to give his frag away like that, but Kerrigan's not done quite yet, although he may be as he's making his way towards CD spawn. You're absolutely right. Navi with 4 pistols and a Galil somehow get themselves to map point. And it actually lost the first frag as well. It's Device who's 12 HP. What a weird decision from him to run out. He could have given the information. Weird. He's called the player's gone past. He's going for a no-scope. It's so high risk.
And I think it was miscue because he was expecting Kerrigan to push out and cover him off, but he was still smoked in that arch. He couldn't do anything about it. So Device literally put him in no man's land. Put himself in no man's land. And
it's crazy.
That's haunting. Not to mention C's. You got to give him credit. 2 picks on the the pit side.
All he had to do was allow that player to run past and then just hold the angle to stop anyone else joining him. They've got the information there. They had players in the pit, and that's a massive round for Astralis to lose, and now we are straight back into this and actually have the lead now into round number 30. Astralis need this just to take us towards overtime, and Navi can finish this right here, right now.
Guardian onto a rifle this time, not going to have the AWP. Despite that Devices was available at the end of the last round, they didn't grab it, they didn't go with it. They want a fast execution. They want to try and let Guardian use this rifle to complement the entry frags. The lurk play that Flamey's been trying to use, and Zeus right now is going to go ahead and take over Banana once more. So again, pandering out across the map, Navi trying to get that control. And as you always say, Henry, bleed out the CTs.
Of course, that's the name of the game, and you know they're up against the ropes in terms of the economy. Navi are the masters of this, slowing the round right down, baiting out grenades from the CTs, and it's leaving them with nothing to play with once they actually make their way on towards the bomb site. So far, so good for Navi. Classic Navi play, just holding up, allowing Guardian to gain control and try and work that first pick. Device has got the ult towards Arch, and looks like Guardian may be deciding to face towards that area as well. Edward and Flamey gaining apartment control. Got to be Molotoved off for now. But they will slowly get it. The CTs fall back into more of a passive hold here.
They clear out the bedroom in doing so, but this is interesting. Kerrigan's coming over early so that they could rotate the man on Arch side. Dupree over to port Device and Cajun B. Everyone's here. Device, AWP, gonna face, spots the gun barrel.
Here we go.
Guardian, if you dare step forward,
Whoa.
it's a problem. Device has him. First pick again for Astralis. They have to slow this down. They have to maintain it. And Zeus, he cuts Kerrigan. Now they've got the option to rotate through CT. Edward's got Device. This might be done. Dupree peeks back. He has to get some ground, but Flamey gets Cajun. Where's the bomb going to go? It's still sitting top mid.
Dupree has a decent position in the apartments coming towards the boiler room. This kill is huge. It's Seas to get it. Zipex now in a 3-on-1. This is it. Navi are going to take map 1. I don't see any sort of realm where Zipex can win this. It'll be an absolute throw from Navi, but he has to give it his all.
No choice. Has a smoke, has a flash, has the kit, and 100 HP. Smoke's not going to go for a ninja. It's going to go toward Pin, and Flamey doesn't care. He pops up. And Navi are one map away from returning to a final in back-to-back majors. And Edward deserves all credit in this game.
32 frags from him. Fantastic stuff. Carried Navi in the first half, kept them alive in some senses after losing so many rounds in a row on their CT half. And they just keep applying the pressure. So many force buys in this game, working out for both teams, in fact. It was a pistol round with a Galil. They got them onto map points. And after losing the first frag once again in the final, Device unable to hold on to the AWP, and the wrap around the bomb side is just too much for them. Zipex unable to win the 3-on-1 clutch. And they will be taking map number 1 here in this best-of-3 series to the semi-final here in Columbus, Ohio.
Incredible stuff. What a game. Astralis pull it back with a quasi. Navi do the exact same, and it comes down to the wire. We got to take a break. We got to catch our breath. We'll join the desk, but not before we do look into our lovely sponsors. The commercials will guide you towards Sir Scoots.
People, they know me as the headshot machine. They know me from the highlights they see. They know me from the matches they watch. They talk about my one-taps, and I think for me, aiming is so easy. I just go into a match and that's it. But my aim, it comes from more than just the game. For me, aim, it is about precision. This part, people don't see. This part, it does not show up in highlights. When I sit down to play, everything already is a part of me.
Welcome back, folks. We are one map into our first semifinal. Na'Vi takes it 16-14 over Astralis. Gentlemen, why is it that Na'Vi always waits till about 20, 15 seconds or so, and then they make their push when they're on the T side? That just freaks me out every time, but it ends up working for them. Does that throw the other team off, or is it just like, we're going to slow it down and take it the last possible second before we make our move?
I mean, it's just the way they approach the game, right? And on a map like Inferno, it actually makes a lot of sense, because what the CT teams usually do is either try to smoke off banana, get banana control, or use smokes for mid. And there are a lot of choke points on Inferno, and smokes are extremely powerful on that map in particular. You even saw it in the first half. Astralis did it as well. In the first 2 gun rounds, they also waited until 15, 20 seconds, because then the CTs basically use all of their resources. It's much more easier to get entrance into the bomb site as well. So it's just something that works for them. And you couldn't see pre-patch, when we had the old round time, you could see Na'Vi struggling a lot with running out of time, not being able to plant the bomb and so on. So they've definitely benefited from that one.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why Inferno was always so seat-sided with the old round time. Mainly because the smokes were very powerful. And as a T, that's why you run down the clock so often on that map, because you don't even have to throw your own nades for them to use the smokes. Once the smokes are done, that's when you make your move. And I mean, Na'Vi, this is how they play.
Yeah.
Every single map, right? And speaking from experience, I've played against these guys, and they run the same thing for probably even in 1.6. And it's just very hard to play against, because you never know. Because once the time runs down to that low margin, then even as you as a defender will just second guess yourself. It's like, where are they? Oh, I saw one in mid. Oh, watch out for the push. And that's when the smoke grenades come, and like rotations are a little bit off. They do a really good job with it. And yeah, Na'Vi obviously perfected that kind of play style.
Duncan, I want you to talk to me about Edward. He went off on that map.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the crazy things about this team in terms of Na'Vi. I mean, you talk about Guardian, yeah, he's the best, one of the best players in the world. Flamey's amazing. I mean, earlier in the tournament, they had Seized, who went absolutely crazy in the Virtus Pro game, from what I remember, was like, this is like a 4th player that's having an MVP level map for the same team. So the thing about Edward is, in 1.6, he was like the Flamey of his team. He was like the 2nd star, but he was legitimately one of the best players in the world, an incredible rifler, and he would just dominate games. In CSGO, he's settled into more of like, more on the supportive end of things. You can tell he plays certain spots just because other people don't want to, or they can't. He knows he's setting up his team normally for Guardian, normally for Flamey to be the stars. In this particular game, though, it was on his back. I mean, he's always had that same rifle style, even in 1.6 and CSGO, where he doesn't try to use technique. He's not like scream tapping and moving around. He actually just straight up sprays, but he's so good with doing so. And he's a very ballsy player as well. That's one of the things I think it benefits him. Because he was a star player before, because he used to have fantastic aim, he's not a player where he's a support player, but he plays scared, or he plays like just the safe angle. He'll push through, he'll go for those shots, and he'll get 1, 2, 3 kills in a row. And in that sense, he's a great soldier. That's what I always think of him as. He's the like battle-hardened veteran where you tell him to go over here, he's just going to go and he's going to do it. He might die, he might win the round. Regardless, he's going to execute it the same way. He's going to have the same mindset each time. And he was the big reason why we weren't in overtime here or an Astralis win.
Any last thoughts on this first map before we start talking about the next one?
I actually wanted to discuss
Too many,
something.
mate.
Yeah, well, we don't have that long.
Overall, this game was really good, but on both levels. Tight game, and the one thing to know coming into Dust 2 now, Device, he played amazing. He had one, I mean, overall throughout the series, he was great. One note, though, is on the round 29, which is essentially what cost him the game, which is a good thing and a bad thing. One thing, he got the entry and then he walked out, tried to get the guy from library, and ended up dying to somewhat of an eco. The good thing here is that back in the day when Astralis XTSM was struggling, you never saw plays like that from Device. He always pushed back, even very defensive, never made any plays. coming in here, this game was tight, and he still made that game, which means that his mentality is in the right spot. Coming into Dust 2 now, that's great news for Astralis, because they're going to need it. Because if he shows up like this, and a Cajun B fell off a little bit on Inferno, this is his map as well. So it's looking good coming into Dust 2 if the mentality is in shape for Astralis after that tough loss on Inferno.
What you saw in this game, Scott, is the reason why so many analysts want to say that Astralis will win these matches and want to say they can be a major champion. It's also the reason why I have trust issues in it, because you look at this game, everything was there. They're saying, listen, man, we're doing really well this time. You can trust in us, believe in us this time. I'm like, okay, seems like I will. But what happens in the game? It's 14-14. They actually are in a situation where they have the full buy. Navi's on this weird, what they call a quasi-buy, where they have like a one rifle, but the rest of the people have Tech 9s, and they're really just hoping to get up in your face, get kills. The guys from Astralis get the opening kill. At that point in time, the whole round collapsed, and they basically did almost nothing in the rest of the round except just get fragged by Tech 9s. It wasn't even like the rifles were the ones killing them. So when they lost that scenario there, you're like, okay, they've still got a full buy, I guess, to get to overtime. Inevitably, they just lose that round ridiculously. So what's great about that particular ending to the sequence and that map is you saw the strengths and the weaknesses of each of the teams. You saw the weakness of Astralis, where they will falter towards the end there. And it's like I always said, it's when I tried to give you that weird NASCAR analogy. It's like what Navi will do is they will never be outright beaten. They will hang around the game as long as they can. And in a scenario like this, if they were playing Fnatic, maybe they hang around all the time and they're like, if we just get a chance, please, Fnatic. And all of them is like, no, I've told you once, get down from the dinner table, no scraps for you. That's how I treat my dog, not humans like you. So, but what happened in this scenario was, Navi hung around the whole time, and then Astralis sort of said at the end, well, here's sort of an opening, and Navi was like, cool, well, we're coming in now, and the map's ours. So you saw that Astralis probably would get away with that against most teams, but you're not going to get away with it against the world-class teams. And this is the reason why they fail at semis and they fail at finals, because when you get to that point in a big tournament, especially a world championship, you're only facing good teams at that point. So you're facing a team who can take advantage of that mistake, who can punish that mistake. And so, listen, it was still a very good game. Yeah, you can give a lot of plaudits to the guys from Astralis, and you can say, hey, you can't expect Edward to go great. But that's all like moral victory stuff. At the end of the day, if they play this way on Dust 2, the same thing will happen, and they will lose a heartbreaker there. So I think Dust 2, for me, it has to be like, we've learned now, they can't even trust themselves in these situations. So they have to it has to be like yesterday. They have to blow Na'Vi out of the water, not let Na'Vi hang around like that. Otherwise, they're always at this danger. They're always at the danger of someone letting them down. And someone letting me down, Scott. And when you let me down, you've let this crowd down, you've let Denmark down. The Princess of Denmark is upset with what you've done. I'm done with that.
All right.
Okay.
I was just waiting for it.
I didn't know where that was going. Where are they going? Nowhere. To the dumpster.
All right. Speaking of Dust 2.
Still a series, guys. Still a series, folks.
So next map is Dust 2, and Astralis is going to start on the CT side. Why don't you kind of give us your thoughts on how that's going to work out?
Yeah, we touched on it briefly in the pre-game, in the pre-show, that Astralis is known for having Cajun be in that car position with the AWP, Zipnix being the rotating player and so on. But they try to switch things up. They try to switch positions as well around to have Device and Dupree on B and so on. But in the end, the problem with that is you can never just rely on one thing, on one setup, because then you're predictable. And when you're predictable, then your opponents can exploit that and use that against you, right? So they have been trying at times to mix things up, and it hasn't been working for them, really. So it's going to be difficult for them to... Are they going to fall back to what worked for them, or are they still going to keep trying with the new stuff? In my opinion, I think they have to be aggressive on their CT side, because if you look at the games where Fnatic trashed Navi basically on Dust 2, it was with a strong CT side. It was constantly pushing, being aggressive, not allowing Navi to do their own thing, to get map control and then go for an execute. And Navi really struggled against that playstyle. And I think Astralis is capable of playing like that on the CT side. So that's something I would maybe advise them to do if I was in their spot.
Okay, Robin?
Yeah, I mean that's the issue coming into this game now. If they go back and fall back to that car strat on the A bomb side, if that doesn't work, they'll fall back. And again, just losing the first map as well, you might have issues. So yeah, you have to play aggressive. You have to do something. If your go-to strat doesn't work, you have to come up with something. Even if you end up losing a round or two, just make sure that you get that entry. You can even fall back at then. Just have the advantage on your side and just take advantage of that, even on the B bomb, so you can push in, push long even. Just make sure you do something so you don't just stay stationary, because that's, like Duncan was saying, Navi, they're a great team. They're going to punish you for that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with this point here, that if they're going to win this Dust 2 and they're going to make it 3 maps, it cannot be the static old style. Like, it's true, they had actually cracked the metagame for how to play the A site on CT, and they had the static style with KGB playing off like we're saying, but I always think one of the things that I don't think they fully understood was that coincided with probably the best little spurt of 3 months of KGB play that we saw. And he was always dynamite on that map on CT, and he was always killing people with the AWP when they came out there. When he's been in more of a slump, that doesn't work as well. People have figured out that style, and the problem they had was, even when it was working, they just went with it every single round. Like every round, there wasn't even very much variation. They wouldn't do much. They would just sort of say, well, this works most of the time, so we'll just keep doing it. So for me, the real weapon that they have that they haven't been able to use here is, okay, maybe that's how KGB is most effectively going to play that spot, but switch it up. Device is the main AWPer in this team, okay. Why not have it where they don't know who's going to be at that spot this time? Maybe they come in there expecting KGB at this position over near the car, so they smoke off over to that side and they're running out doing that. But this time you've got Device in the standard AWP spot where he's just looking at the corner. Now they're going to be coming out, throwing the smoke, and he gets to kill them. So you just got to give them different looks in this scenario, because aside from that performance that Yanko was referring to, with the one, or maybe it's real one, I can't remember, the one where essentially Na'Vi got beaten by Fnatic in that one. It was Dennis aggressively pushing the catwalk. Aside from that, we've never seen Na'Vi fail on T-side to get that control of the catwalk area. So I don't think you can give it up to him, because if you give up map control to Na'Vi, that's what they fight so hard for the first minute, 40 seconds or whatever. If you just give it up to them, you just essentially said, like, just execute however you want here. Have free information on where we are. You can probably guess the setup, and then we're just hoping that we can kill you, basically. That's the only response. So I think you've got to be a bit more aggressive. You've got to have some map control. You've got to push them back a bit.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. So that's going to do it for us. We're going to get into map 2 of our first semifinal. Obviously, it is do or die time for Astralis, and obviously on the other side of the coin, Na'Vi, I'm very nervous about this, Na'Vi is 1 map away from booking their trip to the grand finals. When we come back, Henry G and Sadicus will walk you through the map.
Potentially 1 map left in this semi-final. Na'Vi, if they can pull it off, will repeat into the finals. They were there in Cluj. We may not have any champions left in this tournament, no former champions that is, but we do have someone with experience in the final. All 3 other teams vying for a spot have never been there, including Astralis. It seems to be a curse. They're gonna have to pull this back on Dust 2, which oddly enough, Na'Vi picked against them.
We were expecting Astralis to take Inferno. Classically, that's the map they take against Na'Vi, but in a close battle there, 16-14, it's Na'Vi to come out on top. We go to Dust 2, Guardian's playground. He was pretty quiet. He wasn't bad, but we don't expect him to be that quiet in certain times. So we are going to be going into Dust 2 here.
It's actually a really good point, because Guardian normally, when he does have 1 quiet game, he has this weird wave in the second game, just going twice as good, just stepping it up and elevating himself. Whether it's just some sort of self-criticism, reflection between maps, he has a tendency to do that, so you gotta watch him.
Well, we are going into the second map, ladies and gentlemen. Will be Dust 2. Let's make some noise. Let's get the hype back in the room. Astralis on the CT side, Na'Vi on the T. We can see 4 sets of armor for the CT side. No aggression just yet. They will be boosting up towards short. Actually, Dupree will be going in and actually maybe facing towards the top of middle with KGB, but sees to open things up. Headshot, then the body to finish it off, and they have got the man advantage. Will be swarming towards the catwalk area.
He's desperate to get away from this. Does manage to drop back down into CT. He had the decoy. He was trying to use it as a flash. Didn't elect to do so, but just to be sure he wasn't going to be pushed, he considered the option. Nonetheless, they are wrapping around. They are coming up from catwalk. It's going to be a long fight, a distance battle with Dupree. so far, he's actually done decent damage. Guardian and Flamey go low. It's good enough for Kerrigan to close it out, but they've lost one in turn, and Flamey's going to get Xyp9x down toward the kitty position. Kerrigan, this is a good and swift rotation from him.
Yeah, 2 players now coming in from short. It's going to be Kerrigan and Device. Kerrigan with another one. He's finally shut down by Edward. Now it's all up to Device. What can he do here? Needs to find a kill very quickly. Hasn't got a kit here, but he has got body armor. And the USP needs to land a headshot right now.
And I think he did spot Edward going back over because he had the information, but Edward's crossed back. They want to peek him together. They want to make this a 2-on-1. No chance for Device to isolate them, and it works out perfectly for them.
Very fast play there for Navi. You can see Astralis, pretty standard play from them, boosting up towards short, trying to get that first bit of intel, and potentially challenge a frag as well. As actually Dupree got his head ripped off to kick the round off there, but Navi coming out on top in the 2-on-1 situation. Actually very well played towards the end. They could feel there was an opportunity for the CTs to bounce back there, but facing together and locking him down quickly. Very efficient stuff indeed, but looking like Astralis will be forcing into this week. I've got Kerrigan on the scout and body armor. Yep. The rest of his team actually not joining him on this one. Device does get tagged through the door.
There you go. Guardian already through mid. You got to watch it. Kerrigan got 3 kills. That's why he elects to do this, because it built up the bank for him slightly. Buys down to $100 left in his wallet, but Device and Free are only at 5, so they are pretty even in this. They'll save the next if this doesn't work out, but there it is. The scout loses. Guardian with a second shot through the door, able to pick him off, and it's a flurry of frags that immediately follow for Na'Vi as they take over long.
Yeah, lovely stuff from them, sticking together, full on control and finding the frags as well. Guardian opening things up with the scout, and Device now, the last player remaining. He's stuck in the B bomb site with the Desert Eagle, 60 HP. This round is certainly going in favor of Navi, but it's not a single frag found from Astralis. So although they didn't fully invest into it, Kerrigan did go for the scout and armor combo. The rest of his teammates still have a bit of cash here. It'll be interesting to see what kind of approach we see from Astralis here. At Counterfeit, actually, we saw them going back to their classic setup with Cage and B on the AWP towards that car. In recent times before that event, they've actually mixed it up and actually eradicated that. And Device was actually being more mobile with the AWP, so I'm very intrigued to see where they go with this.
I think part of that was because if you remember, and I may have been Katowice. Either way, there was an event, one of the first ones they did where they did swap it around and put both Device and Dupree onto the A site. The problem was that once people figured out that their B site was significantly weaker and that Kerrigan and Xyp9x didn't really have a feel for how to play that, how to rotate out of middle correctly, it became weak. So what they did is actually, it was one of the only times they've done it, divided Device and Dupree, put Device with that AWP like you're saying, but they've still been flirting with these ideas on how they want to approach it.
Decent nade coming in towards the long doors there. Takes C's down to 47 HP. They've smoked off the corner, so taking that vision away from the counter-terrorists. And you can see now Navi not wasting any time here. Straight up towards Catwalk. Going to be using the rifles very effectively as Flamey takes down Xyp9x to open up the A bomb site. The bomb will be going down for sure any second now.
Flamey, though, does continue forward. That AK is going to find Cage and B, so not much he can do from distance. Good pick at least onto Edward, so that's one gun dropped for whatever value that is to them. Everything counts. So Flamey's going to go hunting for the last 2 players, both Dupree and Device with 5.7s.
Well, they managed to get a couple of kills.
P250s.
It all works. We know what you meant. Yeah, a couple of kills obtained for Astralis there. Device on low HP. He's actually found both of the kills, so he's going to be hiding out towards the B bomb site. Does get taken down eventually by Seized. And Dupree remains now camping towards long and hoping he can find this kill on towards Flame. He might actually be able to do this. There it is. Lovely stuff from him. Actually gets an AK as well. That helps boost the economy going into the next one. Guardian with the scout. Be interesting to see whether he takes that into the next. There it is, the bomb does explode, and Navi with a very fast player towards shore. Found those frags, got the bomb down. But 3 kills obtained for Astralis, not bad at all, considering they only really took P250s into this round, or now purchased for Cage and B. So I think that answers our question as to where we're going with this one. It is going to be the classic Astralis style here.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point. This is likely technical.
Yes.
For whatever reason, Xyp9x has initiated it.
Headsets
yeah, headset. On still, but nonetheless, they are having an admin behind him right now, so something's gone on. I think actually he may have called it for somebody else because the admins are moving down the line toward Device.
I'm sure it's something like a TeamSpeak issue. There's never normally any major technical faults here. And we're looking like we're getting back into this already.
Seems quick enough.
We'll have a look at the buy coming in. Guardian has upgraded his scouts to that AWP. Of course, that's definitely the right decision considering the CTs will be bringing a double up setup here at Matt. So actually, going straight into it. Normally most teams will wait until the mid stages of the first half or the second half.
ACD on top, baby. Tau on top, baby.
What does that mean?
It's a shout out to my tribes, bros. Don't worry about it, Henry.
I'm not worrying about it. Let's never talk about it again.
All right. Guardian not going to get the jump shot this time. Means they do cross into B, 2 players, and it is going to be Device and Kerrigan, so they've swapped this long position again. Cajun with that AWP's rotating late at that corner smoke, but what this does is it pulls so many players away from the mid position. 3 players look to long with that single smoke, and it works out brilliantly for Na'Vi. It's only one left in the site. Device, the nade does damage, and Flamey finds the kill.
What a fast play here coming from Na'Vi, just throwing away the rulebook, what everyone expects from them on Dust 2 side. Straight down middle, 3 players make it out, and just swarm that side. Device did what he could, but it's stuck in the corner. Now just Cajun B, he gets dropped as well to that double orb setup, just doing nothing. It's a perfect read from Na'Vi going into the first gun round, and only dropped 1 kill in the form of Seas as well. Like I said, we expect Na'Vi to be very slow, methodical, working the picks, allowing Guardian to have map control, and then they go into an execution just completely different from anything we normally see from them. So that's very wise, actually. So Astralis going to be a little bit rattled by that one. I don't think they expected that whatsoever. They were setting up, calculating themselves with the 2 turrets on either bomb site and trying to challenge Guardian there, but there it is, 4-0 in favor of Na'Vi. They're going to round number 5. It's full eco pretty much coming from Astralis, just a couple of upgraded pistols, that's it. And 3 players towards long. It's another fast play coming from Na'Vi. They're actually not messing around whatsoever.
You gotta wonder how much confidence they're gonna have on the Astralis side as we see C's spraying through smoke. Good flash actually catches him off. That's an AK available inside a pit. They've got enough cat in the meantime though. So they have got the A site to work with, but you have to wonder how much confidence they'll have with that AWP battle if they start to face Guardian, because he is, so far every round, taking that peak. Speaking of him, he's found Dupree. It's all just too simple at this point. Just standard procedure, as you would say, Henry, nothing to report.
Indeed. Flamey, after 5 rounds, is currently set on 10-2, so he's one of the few players on the server you really don't want to get that momentum built up and getting in the zone like that. But 5-0 now, double orbs once again for Cajun and Device. Had a bit of a shocker in the first gun round. We'll see what Na'Vi brings to the table this time. If they keep the pace up like this, could get very interesting indeed.
And this, I highly expect, is going to be Device facing. I highly expect that this will be Kerrigan. Jump shot bait Device. Actually goes right by it, so he's going to go straight into B, but I thought that he was going to try and take the fight with Guardian. Either way, fast play from Na'Vi, already getting Zeus out again, but he's actually separated again. The smoke, the flash through it, it works out. Edward gets one through that smoke as well, so it looks great for Zeus once more, and suddenly in the open,
surely
there's nowhere for him to run.
That's so
Cajun
nice.
B, absolutely taken down. There was nowhere to hide, and Guardian can stay in middle all he likes. Nade out, Kerrigan, further damage still onto 20 HP. They have to look to save these weapons.
Na'Vi is straight up savaging them right now. Fast A splits coming in and just removing them from both parts of their map. There was actually 3 CTs towards long to kick things off, but Edward, so aggressive and confident. The split coming into the side as the AWP is trying to fall back, and he's just stuck in such a horrible position. There it is. They only find the kill into Seized. Once again, he's dropped, and Kerrigan and Device trying to save their weapons.
Guardian's already ready for that.
Of course.
And you have to admire Na'Vi. Normally we talk about Catwalk, how, again, they defined the meta Astralis on it. And people have exploited it and found weaknesses. Instead, Na'Vi's saying, all right, never mind Catwalk. You got weaknesses there. We'll weaken it over time by making you put more attention onto long. Kerrigan at least gets away with that op so far.
Just about. He did get leg through the wall, I think. Guardian whipped out the Deagle to try and take him out, but here we go. Edward and Zeus coming together from the B tunnels. Flamey holding towards long. They want this kill. They know how much it means to break the economy of Astralis going forward. They have recovered 2 orbs here, the CTs, so valuable pickups regardless, even though they have gone 6-0 down. The thing about Dust 2 as well, it's one of the few maps on T-side where the spawns are really beneficial. If you get a decent long spawn and you can actually smoke off the corner, take the vision away from the CTs and flash a couple of players out, it makes the entry frags really possible there, and it seems like Na'Vi are taking full advantage of that. And such fast rounds coming in here. It's a much different style than what we're used to. But Astralis, with the full loss bonus and salvaging 2 orbs, do have something to work with this round. Cajun being Device back onto them. But Zipex and Cajun actually yet to frag, taking a leaf out of Bardolph's book.
That's never going to get old. Why not? But again, though, they are going to put 2 players out toward long, and they are forcing Astralis to put attention there, which on the onset, if Na'Vi can continue this pace, weakens places like middle, which Zipex has to apply attention to here, and Catwalk, which Cajun now rotates back to cover. It's going to be more of a standard default this time from Na'Vi, though, slowing the pace down considerably. Edward just facing off through the smoke at long right now, making sure that Dupree can't get further ground. And interestingly enough, it is Dupree that is going to be anchoring that long position. It is normally Kerrigan that's there, so they are electing to run him in the B site.
Well, it's a slower round this time from Na'Vi. Going to be going for that catwalk control that we come to expect from them. They are going to obtain it for now, but like you said, Dupree playing close up towards the long doors.
This is exactly the setup they're known to do. Zipex supporting for the drop. Cajun's got car covered. Dupree anchors Device doesn't cover mid because Xyp9x in the swing can still make the call, but the smoke has gone down from CT spawn onto middle. So he needs to be careful now. Device has to weigh the decision. Does he stay in the site, not give up the fortified site that is B, or go out to mid and cut them off early?
This is looking like a mid split coming from Navi. You can see the bombing towards the tunnels as well. Zeus sending some utility over towards A, holding cage and towards that car area. 4 players actually towards the tunnels, so this will be interesting. A lot of teams will smoke off in front of the tunnels, go for the contact play, and see if they can walk in with one flashbang and surprise the CT's waiting for them.
And Xyp9x, with that smoke already gone on CT and not seeing anyone in either position, really has to start to gamble this, but good position from Kerrigan. He's on the offside, it's covered out, it's a good trade, but Device is still in position, and the AWP...
Wow.
All right, Edward, headshot from him, and inside the site they go. Xyp9x has to cover the cross, he can't do it from that position. And Guardian's already facing down towards CT. This is the timing. You've pointed out something interesting is that Dupree has got around for the flank, so Zeus on the spiral staircase needs to be a little bit careful, because if he goes down, if Dupree finds it, they've overlooked it, the timing. Oh, that's so unfortunate for Dupree.
Yeah, that really didn't work in his favor. Now it is a 3-on-2. Xyp9x finds a frag onto Edward, though. This becomes possible. Bomb ticking away. Xyp9x has to step up through the window here.
One kid, it's only on Xyp9x as well, and Guardian's gonna be gifted a frag. Inside, Xyp9x goes, he has to make the play, and Guardian just turns around. There it is. Talked about him being lackluster on Inferno, not to be this time, stepping up huge early on.
So just a standard default there from Navi. Showed presence towards A, holding the CTs there with some smokes and flashbangs, and then they just do a contact play in towards B. When I say contact play, that basically means when a group of terrorists stay together in a formation and walk into a certain bomb site until they find contact with the enemy team. At that point, you burst into the bomb site, and then you find the frags and try and exchange as efficiently as possible. Kerrigan only found 1 frag. Same story for Device as well. Edward, huge kills onto him with the AK, knocking down that B site, and they actually took down all of the CTs there. So even though they're a maximum loss bonus, $3,400, the CTs are looking at themselves right now, working out how they can approach the next round. I think another pause is coming in. This time it will be tactical, as the current money, it does lie at about 4K average. They need to work out whether this is worth buying into. They've been doing double AWP setup so far, which obviously hasn't worked for them. The scoreline's currently 7-0.
Insane. I mean, this is Astralis Dust 2, CT side.
Yep.
And it's getting picked apart in a way that we've not seen. Again, Na'Vi just playing with speed.
Yeah, mixing it up every time. Sometimes taking the long spawn or going straight down middle from suicide.
Astralis can't get comfortable. They can't figure it out. By the time they figure out what they did in the last round, there's already something different being thrown at them.
So they're looking like they're going for the quasi-buy. That means basically you get the upgraded pistols and body armor. You have partially buy into the round and keep your money around the 2.2K mark. It means with the maximum loss bonus, you go into the next with a full buy available. The pause is going to be running out now, and they're not going to be investing into this one. We'll see what Navi have got planned. They are dropping an AWP and swapping some things around. But so far, so good for them. Gone perfectly. All the clutches work in their favor and all the fast spawns. Edwards keeping up in some great form with Flamey joining him as well. He's still on 10 frags, but it's a real team effort so far. Everything seems to be coming together nicely.
I mean, Edward, again, can't harp enough on how good he was. Device needs to be one of the players to step up. 15K for Zeus.
This is similar scenes to what we saw at Counterpip. We have these star players throughout the tournament looking fantastic. When it comes down to crunch time, we've got Cage and B 0 for 7, Xyp9x 1 for 7. And this might continue here as we go into round number 8. They're looking a bit shell-shocked right now. Kerrigan will be investing towards the scouts. And the rest of his team, Desert Eagles and P250s. Xyp9x with the 5-7, so you'd assume this is going to go to 8-0. Astralis need to wake up here. They're looking down the barrel of going out on 2 maps in the semi-final here, the major.
Astralis always seem to do that, isn't it? Again, so far into a tournament and they just can't cross the finish line. Good tag again. Device gets hit through the door by Guardian. So weakened already on this B site.
Indeed. Now, Navi can just afford to slow things down. They can hear the Eagles being fired as well. There's no need to commit to any sort of situations here. Play a default, stick together, execute efficiently. Shouldn't even be dropping a frag in this scenario. Although there is a tag with the scout on towards Zeus in the B tunnel, so at least that makes things a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, into the grasps of pistol kill. He goes down to 30 HP. Guardian's been watching mid doors the entire time, catching drift of any rotations. He can keep track of where the CTs are playing. He knows 2 crossed off the start. Definitely saw that, and so far no one else has crossed back over. So he'll have the information. There's still 3 on the A side right now. There's not a stack going on with these pistols. Now it's just a matter of solving it, getting the picks on the way through, and doing it efficiently. It's not like they need money, let's be honest. They've built it up tremendously, but still can't afford to give it away.
We're going to go back to that B contact play once again, and this will work perfectly. We have got Carrigan there with the scout, but he's focused towards middle right now, and Device is actually joining him towards that zone. So C's going to be leading the charge. He's going to go in for the entry frag. And to go in, actually, team damage done, and Carrigan does hit the headshot. He makes another tag as well. Can he do this? Flamey does take down Dupree. There is a flurry of frags, exchanges all over the place, but it's Edward once again stepping up 3-on-2, and they've got control of the B site.
Guardian not going to play this straightforward position this time because no need to drop down to rifles, but he just holds doorway. AK picked up on Cajun. Are they fancying this? Look for exits at the best case. That's all they can look to do at this point. Try and damage that economy. There's no way they're going in. They've got no kits. They've got no armor.
Doesn't look like it, but they actually might fancy that. Okay,
I was going to say, they're starting to face that. Thankfully, that smoke came out when it did.
Yeah, almost their saving grace as they have got the AK-47. Found a couple of frags. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you're 8-0 down to retreat and allow another round to slip by the wayside, but Zipex on very low HP as well. He's going down to 23. The hunt is on for Navi. They want these kills, but Zipex finds the first. Could get 2 out of this, you know. Dancing and weaving behind those double doors. Goes down to 9 HP and still wants to face that. Doesn't give too much away, only had the 5-7, but as I said, the partial buy from Astralis that round means they have tons of cash going into this one. Can definitely get the double orb set up once again, but I have to say, it hasn't really been working. Cajun actually yet to get any frags yet. Oh, yeah, he's found one now. He's at 1 for 7. But still, very quiet affair from him.
James Bond turned up. So Guardian again, AWP, no surprise, but Cajun brings his back out. It's not going to be the double op setup this time for Astralis. And Guardian, he's ready for the jump. Tries to go for the flick reaction towards Device, but this time they'll get across cleanly. And it's going to be a 1-1-3 setup from Astralis. Device, the only one directly inside to be early on.
Astralis are very static right now. They're not being assertive. They're not boosting up towards short, getting the orb towards lower B, or even like spotting the lower B tunnels. You see the top teams when they have confidence. That's what you're doing. That's what you need to do in these big rounds. You need to be taking the game towards the T's. You can't sit back and allow a team like Navi, who are in 5th gear right now, to control every single situation. Once again, 4 players in the upper B tunnels. Let us be walking in. They seem to be finding these frags time and time again. It's a big nade from Device. But this time he's only got the AK. Needs to be finding these entry frags, but he can't. Once again, it's Flamey. Carrigan finds one, but he's answered back straight away. It's now a 3-on-3, but heavy advantage in favor of the terrorists.
Tries to spray through those. Zipex does get one. Inside of that flash, he picks up a kill on Cross. Flamey's so low on this, though, as the 3-on-3. Zipex is still going to try and look toward the window. It's a little bit late. The Molotov's going to go out, so it's going to buy more time. So a late Molotov is going to save Na'Vi. So much desperation in this, but Cajun B still finds the shot onto Flamey. That forces Guardian back inside the 2 boxes. He has to cover off both angles, and a good time flash. But Dupree, he can't find it. Now they will. Cajun's got it, and Zipex got the retake. It's perfectly done.
Plenty of time to defuse as well, and finally, Astralis arrive on Dust 2. They're finding the frags. They exchanged equally, and now they made their way into the B bomb sites, but holding strong on the retake, and a very important kill in the B tunnels as well. The AWP found Flamey and allowed them to pinch the bomb site with decent flashbangs and removing Guardian out of that situation. But still a lot to reinvest in this one. Double orb setup has been purchased. You can see.
I want to see a face down mid. I want to see them take the fight.
What, you want to see them actually take it towards the terrorists there?
Straight toward Guardian right off the start. Guardian's actually not going to be... Okay, now he is facing it. Looked like he was going to bypass it and go toward long, but...
Device fancies it this round. He is towards middle. Maybe he will go for the face here. He knows Guardian may be waiting. He's just going to be holding up towards short for now and falling back towards B. Double orb setup back on towards Cajun. We talked about it on the desk. Loves his car position so much. And now more of a classic setup from them, just holding up towards middle. Waiting for any aggression to come in from the CTs, but as I mentioned before, no aggression really found whatsoever. Okay, damage done to Device. Heavy damage at that, 18 HP.
Has to fall back again. So even when they do try and put pressure on mid, they have to give it up in the end. Nate could have killed Device there, but smartly he gets far enough away. That's Catwalk they're going to approach. Finally, we're going to see if Cajun B's up to the task, if he's still sufficient in that position. Zipex is there to support. Late Molotov. Still a minute, though. Na'Vi, they're just bleeding them out. And the smoke from Guardian will go toward the site. There should be one on drop as well, though, and the first player down should be seized in this position. Gapping it, though, but Flash is time. Zipex nearly had the position to cover it off. There it is. Seize goes in, but he's blinded up. Zipex has both! That's the support play that he's known for on Dust 2.
Finally, he arrives. It's going to be a 5-on-3. Cajun in great position. There it is. The shot onto the bomb site. Takes down Flamey. It's going to be a 5-on-2. And surely they can have this round. Dupree taking down Edward. And just Guardian remains.
But Guardian still got a foot in this because he finds one kill. They are going to try and peek this together. Well timed.
Lovely stuff there from Astralis. That's what we needed. The full A execution coming in from Navi, and his Zipex with perfect flashbangs from his teammates, gets the double spray down and sets his teammates up to rotate in, and Cajun seals the deal with the AWP. The money not broken for Navi just yet, and we still have the double AWP set up for Astralis. So money getting stronger though. You can see Dupree has 7K and the same for Device.
And that is the classic setup. That's what we talked about, the meta-defining play. But Na'Vi, again, the rounds they've been winning has nothing to do with that. It's been picking them apart at long with fast plays early, getting B control. So I'll be interested if this starts to persuade Na'Vi to go back to those tactics and basically render Cajun useless in that position, which then, as you said, goes back to Astralis being more dynamic, more assertive in these positions to find openings.
More of a default so far, so that very fast and aggressive play we saw from Na'Vi in the opening stages of this half seem to be cancelled now as they're going back to the slower, more methodical play style, allowing Guardian to work the picks and gaining map control piece by piece. This time focusing towards middle. Carrigan's going to be there by himself. Device with the AWP towards that B bomb stage. Actually, much more aggressive than we're used to seeing him. So standing in the middle of the platform looking for that first pick. Not going to have anyone there ready though. As Seas walks out towards middle looking for the next frag here.
Zipex is slowly fading off of this now that they've got some stabilization in that mid position, but Dupree, this will be the first time they go for the full split early. How does Guardian? His movement mechanics are superb. But how does he fancy his chances about going first to find that pick on Cajun? Because right now it's 2 rifles toward mid. He's the only one on catwalk. Little bunny hop toward car, perhaps, but it would be risky. They are going to try and push this through middle. But a good Molotov back through the smoke is going to cover them off. This is going to be a full split because rather than dropping onto Zipex, they want to get the kill, but there it is, Dupree. He wins the battle at long. It's 2 kills for him. Flamey's out. They're going to try and pitch him off. Nearly sprays down both with the transfers. Kerrigan goes on to 26, but now they're forced onto catwalk late. 20 seconds to go when the smoke is out. Guardian has the line, but blinded up again.
Finally, round by round, the star players are starting to come out of the woodwork here. This time it's Dupree. 2 headshots for him, and Zipex finds a kill on the Seas as well. 4-1, just Guardian remaining. And Astralis getting some footing finally into this first half. 3 seconds remain. Obviously, the round is over, but Guardian needs to be careful here. He's going to die after the timer.
Oh,
there it is.
Huge.
He goes into the next round with no money, but he still has 4K in the bank from previous rounds, but still didn't get anything for that one. 3rd stage loss bonus now, and it's actually 3 rounds in a row for Astralis.
Yeah, just to clarify for new viewers coming into CSGO this weekend, he doesn't go with no money, he gets no money bonus, so he has whatever he had from before, so still, as you said, he was around 4K.
He's been dropped an AWP this round, so they still have enough. This will be the round that breaks them if they were to lose it. Flamey with the Galil, and Guardian back on the AWP.
This is interesting, so 3-man jump. He spotted 2 of them, for sure, but that was 100% them trying to finally take the fight, and Device has actually pushed him off this. This is where they get assertive. Unfortunately, he didn't stick with that. I would have loved to have seen him down below with someone on catwalk on a rifle, but they're not set for that because Zipex and Dupree are out toward long. Why not? Go for the crazy wall bang.
More of the same here for Astralis and Navi, in fact. So they've gone back to classic Navi playstyle. Dupree very close and aggressive towards those long doors. Fires off shot towards T-spawn. Doesn't land any damage just yet. Edward is waiting on the other side. Could have been a kill. It was a couple of centimeters to the left. But round number 12 coming in. Astralis fighting back here. No frags achieved so far, but Dupree fancies the long doors. This could be flashing. It's a perfect flashbang, but Edward just about gets away with his life and leaves with 67 HP.
4 on catwalk again, but Cajun pulled toward Dupree's position. Needs to be timely here. And now he's back. No one going to try and go out mid this time to cover off Zipex. They have to go for the drop play. Kerrigan's already come out to the side of B anyway, so that would have been covered, but Cajun's gone down away from this. Zipex is going to have to play this from the A ramp. Drop strategy actually becomes effective in this position. Dupree's faced. Here it is, Zeus ready for the jump, flash over, down he goes. They're going to put 2 inside of CT, but Zipex isn't there, not to be found. He is dropped on the ramp. Now they go for the face. Cajun's got to hit the off-angle shot. Does manage it, but he has to fall away, and this slows. Guardian's going to go for the face. Jump shot, Cajun hits it. Guardian's gone. Now the bomb's dropped. And with 23 seconds, Edward gets 1 kill back, but Cajun is just absolutely perfect in that position.
15 seconds remain, 2-on-2, and they haven't got the bomb here. It's down on the side to Dupree and Cajun. Both poised and ready to take on Seed. The first frag coming in. It's going to be Dupree to take him down. 2-on-1 now. Edward finds Dupree. 5 seconds. All he has to do is stay alive. Shouldn't be time to plant here. He can't do it.
He went for the AWP instead. He wants to kill. What? Why is Cajun facing that? What in God's name is he doing?
I think he assumed he had the bomb and he was going for the short plum. He wanted to get him on the retreat. He was hiding in the pit. He had no idea what was going on. You can see the look on his face. He's realized what he's done. All he had to do is stay alive, and he didn't know.
just stay in pit. Even if you give up the plant, you still have a one-on-one. It's a chance that you can still make happen, but you're right, he goes out, goes for the face guard. Edward was nowhere near it. The bomb was there late. It was 3 seconds when he grabbed it. That's, man, oh man. That's so massive in the context of this because they were about to break Na'Vi finally for the first time, and now look, it's back to the fast play with the smoke on corner. dupree's gonna get caught toward Carr. Such an easy position to Molotov and nade out.
I know exactly where he is. He needs the backup from the teammates here. He's not going to arrive in time. Sees, takes down dupreeh, and it was looking so successful here for Astralis, and now it's falling apart. Zipex trying to rectify things, takes down Zeus, but it's still a 4-on-3 in favor of Na'Vi. They've got tons of time, and we can see Edward holding the flanks. No one can come from shore here, but Zipex is already waiting. Carrigan finds one, quickly eradicated. Now they're going to the 3-on-1, just Zipex to try and close this out. He does take down Flamey and boost his chances here. Edward low HP, but they've still got a minute and full control of the map in terms of where they can go in exit strategies.
And now the money goes the other way.
Indeed.
That's gonna hurt. I mean, Cajun's got to get over that, put that behind him, but man, that'll haunt him for a while. A major tournament. Simple mistake. So costly. 1 versus 2 still. Zipex has a chance in this. We're not done just yet. 40 seconds. Zipex is in CT. He's still considering the possibility that they go B, but he might have his back exposed here. That timing. Yeah. That was close because C's just got to Carr. He damn near spotted him, and instead, though, Zipex is going to rotate back around. He still thinks this is B.
Yeah, he's done for now. As soon as that plan is established, they can get the long plan down. Edward can get in the pit with the orb. They can't do anything about it. That's a platform plan for Siege, so it means Edward can now go towards the platform area and long, and Zipex doesn't really have any footing in this whatsoever. He's hoping it's B, which is not. And now he's got a very long journey all the way to the A-bomb, so it's not even worth going for, I would say. As he is actually thinking that may be his next move right now. There it is. So, just to go back to that round with Cajun being in the clutch situation, if you think about how that went down, Cajun managed to find 3 amazing frags. It looked like he locked him down, and he actually eradicated what Na'Vi were presenting in terms of that A attack. They had 2 players towards long. Na'Vi had no actual control of the situation, just went for the straight-up face. And 3 seconds, and it seems like that's going to lead to a huge deficit here. As the next round comes in, and Cajun B just falls to pieces when he's presented with players in front of him. And there it is, 10 plays 3 now. The comeback was on, but now the money is in tatters. 10 plays 3, and Astralis don't really have much to work with. They are going to be forcing him, Matt. I'd say at this stage, they probably have to do everything they can to get some more rounds on the board. 10-3, not going to be good enough. P90s, Famises. Zipex has got the M4 he saved from last round. This would be huge if they can pick this up and give them a real chance of fighting back.
Guardian, no tag that time, but once again goes for the face. Fast play for Flamey, same smoke on the corner. And look how much it does. It draws the attention of not only Zipex and dupreeh, who goes down in the smoke,
okay,
but also Cajun B, so Catwalk's wide open. They're going to take this. They're going to walk out. There's going to be the timing.
So
they're going to meet each other, but there's no AWP in position. Edward nearly gets caught with an 8 out, gets the AK back, and suddenly it works out. They get 2 kills, but good response with an 8 on the Cajun.
It was a really good idea from Na'Vi there, but Flamey does find Carrigan. There's going to be a reply straight away. Device with the P90. Should be able to upgrade to an AK now. Bomb is planted, and Guardian finding dupreeh. That was a real chance to them. Device, no kit. Has got the AK, but like I said, he kind of has no choice, has to go for it. But Guardian's not scared to face him, and finishes him off as well. 11 plays 3, and it's looking bleak.
Very, very bleak. Na'Vi picking Dust too. Again, Thorn kind of touched on it on the desk. It's not like it's a bad map for Na'Vi. It's just so commonly banned against them that we never see them play it. So everyone looks at this and goes, oh, Astralis, Dust 2. Like, what are they doing? But
we normally pick
on exactly what they're doing.
We normally pick on Device in these big games when he doesn't show up. But after such a fantastic Inferno performance for him, he's currently sat on 5 for 12. He is playing towards the B-bomb side, which hasn't been a heavy area of contention. He has been rotating a lot, but the star players not really delivering here. They did have 3 rounds of greatness, but they're going to round number 15 now. MP9, CZs, and Scouts. We assume this round is going in favor of Na'Vi, but let's see if Astralis have anything left in the tank.
Molotov out, bounced off, covers corner. Device has to shuffle across. He's able to do so with the smoke. Zeus, though, look at that. Just easily spots up Cajun B. Out toward the pots on the left side for Zeus's angle. He's going to follow that up, and it's Device that actually gets Flamey instead at middle. So it does come back to a 4 versus 4 and an aggressive stance right now from Astralis. The interesting thing on this is they've got so much information that they're on Catwalk due to all of this. Kerrigan's actually doing something very clever right now and trying to pincer them in.
Carrigan, yeah, pushing the B tunnels. This could be interesting as Dupree is on short as well. If they can coordinate flashbangs here, Carrigan could be set up for something very powerful indeed. The scout, though, is the worst weapon he could possibly have there. Dupree gets dropped by Zeus. Carrigan no choice but to fall back, and he's going to find Zipex as well. So this round is over, I'm afraid. 4-on-2. Device with the AK, that's their last lifeline, and it's going to be taken down. Carrigan now, scout, no kit, body armor, and a bomb to defuse with 4 players to frag. I'm not believing, my friend.
I don't think there's anything to believe in at this point. 12-3, Na'Vi crushing half. Again, there was a chance to come back. It was slowly happening. Nearly broke the economy, and it never happened. All on a one-on-one.
This is what I was touching on in that pre-game section we did. Astralis go through the early stages of the tournament, taking down giants. They took down Fnatic. They looked like godlike mode. And as soon as we get to this, they're the shadow of them former selves.
And you look at, obviously in this tournament, look, they've gone out, but in normal tournaments, Fnatic's the one that does the opposite of that. They build into the tournaments. They peak late in tournaments. Sign of a championship team, you're dead right. I mean, Astralis, this time and time again, this is sort of where they trail.
They just look stale on the CT side. Like we said, we touched on it a few times. They're not taking the game towards the terrorists. When you're just sitting back and consistently losing the first frags or being ran over by the executions, you need to be like eradicating that and actually facing in, going towards lower B, boosting on short, maybe pushing towards upper tunnels. We see a lot of teams do that. You need that confidence. You need to believe you can find that first frag. If you're up against the rope, someone needs to be pulling the levers to make things happen at the start of the round. But Astralis just very static, I have to say. It just seemed like they weren't believing in themselves. Device of a very difficult and quiet game. I did touch on it. He was towards that B side.
That's it right there.
That was the round. That was the crushing round that really ended that half. They didn't bounce back from that at all. You saw the look on Cajun's face, and it was similar to one on the screen right now.
So they have to find a way to get things rolling on their T side.
They need the pistol. That goes without saying. They need it. There's no other way about it. You can't win this without this pistol round.
And they'll use all the time they can, both teams, to talk this over.
We did see an aggressive round from Astralis on the CT pistol, but they got absolutely wrecked. It is quite standard for teams to do that, boosting 2 players up towards short, looking for that bit of intel. Not necessarily find kills, but if you can just see middle is clear and maybe get some nades towards lower B, it gives you a ton of information as to where to reposition the rest of your CT teammates. But like you said, both teams taking full advantage here of the 2 minutes they have in between the halves. And here it is then, the pistol round comes in. A lot of tension in the room right now. Everyone's wondering if Astralis can do this. This is the second map of the first semi-final of the day. If Astralis loses this Dust 2, they're out of the tournament, and Navi booked themselves a final.
A second straight. Final, yeah, second straight grand final. And you have to think, considering the field, how it's been picked apart, yes, okay, Luminosity and them, that's, first off, that would be epic for a final. Yeah. Let's be honest, that is such a good rivalry, but this is the best chance for Navi to finally win a major.
You're absolutely right. So Astralis, 4 sets of armor, a smoke towards middle, and they're actually going pretty aggressive here. Zeus looking to find this first frag, does spot 4 of them, and he's decided to fall back with a flashbang as well. He should be able to get out of this.
Guardian's going to rotate back over on this early contact, this early information. Zeus falls away from it. Tries to flash it, give vision to Guardian in his favor. Edward's got to go back. There is one player late coming through long, that's Kerrigan, but right now it's all on to Zeus as Edward. He wins that duel, so it's all 4 on Catwalk, and Dupree knows the flank's got to be coming soon. He tries to turn it back. This is disaster. 5 plays 2. As Astralis, it's falling apart, but I say that. Zipex finds 2, Device gets 1, and suddenly they're back in the round. They've got the A site, they know where both players are. Dink, though, on to Zipex, he's down to 5. Device has to fight this. 1 versus 2, he's trying to cut back around. Bombs dropped on the site, but he's got the shot. It's gonna be pushed, he goes for the reload, and he can't get it. Seas gets there first.
He's got a kid as well, that's gonna be Diffuse coming in. It looked so promising for Astralis there. Had full control, they had 4 players on Catwalk as well, just getting challenged by the P2000 at the crossover. Once the short plan came in, I thought they had done it, but Navi reacting perfectly. Instead of challenging and trying to take the 1-on-4 situation, they fell back towards long, focus on that area, taking down Carrigan, who was rotating in for that zone. Once they had him, they were able to establish themselves and pincer in on the bomb site, and just a flurry of headshots coming in and locking them down 1 by 1. It did come down to that CT spawn area for Device, but didn't expect that aggression coming in so soon from Seas, and he capitalizes, and 13 plays free. The bomb planted means they get extra cash, $800 each per player on the terrorist side. With the kills they found, it means they can drop a couple of AKs, and a scout comes out as well. They need to win this round, of course, but it is looking promising considering the buys the CTs have. They've got 2 SMGs, that's pretty much all the good news I can give them, but it's all going to come down to Cajun and Dupree. Need to find some frags here and make the AKs work for them.
Flash in, Edward to peek it. Cajun's going to do the same, flashed in toward mid. Zeus is slowly walking in that direction to get closer to the doorway. They've given up mid entirely. They want to just hold the sights with the guns that they have. Astralis, this is so much on the line with these guns bought up. Zeus is behind the smoke. Flash can't push through early and get positioned, so he's going to go for the nade instead. That does reasonable damage onto Dupree, down to 83. Still looking like this wants to be a mid to B. And that means 3 players will come into the fold immediately for Navi's positioning right now. And not only that, if they get that information, Edward's going to be hot on their heels with a push out long. Dupree's gone. No smoke, it's late, tries to peek it first, go for the rotation back toward B, but they need to be careful as they get up the ramp, flash in. This could be a push. They're going to try and get shut down. Flamey's in the window, though. The timing's off. Zeus goes down. This is perfect from Astralis.
Yeah, really nice play. The Beast Blade coming in. Guardian finding one, and C's coming to life with the MP9. They needed to make those kills work. Where's the exchange? The bomb's down at the doors.
Good position from Cajun B. He's got Guardian on rotation, but still, Seized finds one more, so it's Edward in a 1 versus 2. And they have no idea, but Cajun B's rotating from middle at the right time.
There it is, the AKs. The high-risk maneuver of coming in with the force buy in the second round pays off for Astralis. And you'd assume Navi with this huge bed of rounds don't need to force into this one, but it looks like they will be, of course. Why not? The reason I say that is when you have so much to play with in the CT economy, famously very hard to control in some circumstances, you don't need to force into this. Of course, you have the potential to reset the terrorist side, but looking at the buy they have right now, 2 scouts and 3 pistols going up against 4 rifles, it's just very unlikely to win the round, and then could potentially cost them a couple of ecos there.
Guardians tagged at mid. So one of the scout players down already to 36 HP. Kerrigan's going to slow this down. They sit at the top of mid. Guardians, or rather, excuse me, Seized has this pre-aimed. So Kerrigan needs to be a little bit careful as he continues to fire. Thankfully, he's tucked in behind the barrels from that position. We don't quite see it, but they would protect him. But Zeus, look at this. As soon as there's any contact, as soon as there's any information, he's going to go for the peek. He does it on his own. Reasonable damage back in turn against Device. And Zipix gets tagged by that shot, so the early damage on Guardian is negated. It goes back in their favor as Astralis come out worse for wear.
That makes those CZs a lot more lucrative right now. Now the tags have been done. You can see Zipix, Device, and Kerrigan, pretty low HP. The full spray of the CZs can mow through low HP players.
Flamey's solo inside of this B site right now. He's just calling for Seized to come back as he does see the nades coming through, but he's going to wait. He's going to go for the late peek. The flash comes in for him. He's got at least damage done. It's Dupree down, but response Seized. He fights forward. Bombs drop. Now the scout gets in position in the window. Look how low the HP is. That shoulder peek, he's not going to be able to get the kill. But this is so desperate for both Zipix and Device. And one in, one out. It's Device now left alive on his own. Goes to the scout because he needs to pick up a gun, but look at Edward behind him. He knows Tech9 rushing, has to get the kill. It's not going to work out. Na'Vi finds themselves on 14, and there goes the force buy potential from Astralis.
Well, that's the full reset I'm talking about. Na'Vi wanting to finish things right here, right now. And that pretty much does it, I think, for this game. Is that round shouldn't be going in their favor. It's just a scout tagging going on at the beginning of the round. Guardian doing so much work, and like I said, the CZs can be so effective in those sort of situations. It's interesting Astralis decided to go for the B tunnels, the tightest choke point on the map, and so long as well. It gives so many chances for them to find you, and C's doing massive work there as the scouts finish things off. But there it is, 14 plays 4 now. Astralis fully up against the ropes, and Edward and Zeus continuing the aggression here. This is what we wanted to see from Astralis, taking the game towards the T's when they're weakened. There's going to be a lot of damage taken though. Edward and Zeus going down low. Edward on 9 HP. And Kerrigan looking to find the frag as well.
Edward low enough that goes out toward long. He has to call for support from Zeus, so 1-1-3 setup, Seized up close to the mid doors. Device and Kerrigan potentially looking for a fast play, potential drop situation with these Tech9s where they can rush and overwhelm, but if they could find this first pick actually toward mid, this is really good because Guardian's quite far off of this. The problem is they have no smokes. Actually, I take that back. They've got 1 left on Zipix, so if he uses that towards CT, this could still be viable, but Seized is being patient. The smoke goes down. Good turn as the flash comes in. Zipix gets 1, and Cajun finds Flamey. This opens it up. B's wide open.
B is wide open. That was a really nice play from Astralis. See Kerrigan getting CT spawn as well. He's got control of the rotation. Guardian's going to be coming in. I'm not sure if he's suspecting him as well. Shots fired. Kerrigan can hear that. He's not going to be facing just yet. They're actually opting to rotate fully through long by the seems of thing. Guardian and Edward meeting up. And are they just going for the save here? I think they are.
This is just the long game.
Yeah, they want to make sure they keep those rifles. They potentially could have won that.
That's so smart. That's so smart. I mean, you'd think it's 3 versus 3, and they still have 3 guns versus 2. You'd go for it, but Na'Vi don't care. They've got such a bed of rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. So 14 plays 4, and this one is to finish things off as quickly as it can. That definitely helps the situation. Kerrigan didn't have a weapon, but taking him down does mean rebuys in terms of armor and nades has to come in for him next round. So it just damages the money slightly. But KGB and Zipex can leave the bomb site easily towards the tunnel area and stay alive with their AKs intact. There it is, another lifeline for Astralis though. I'm not believing just yet, but every round helps.
Every round helps. And those 3 rifles certainly do as well. Edward able to swap to the AK. So Astralis. All right, you can have that 5th round. We'll save our rifles. We'll break you. Go on to map point.
Yep,
Send you home in pain.
It definitely would do as well. After the rebuy, you can see Astralis not left with much. $1,400 next round would be another Tech 9 round. So Navi, like you said, going for the long game. And once again, Zeus is going lower B. Aggressive, of course, in the lower B tunnel. It's good to find his first score. They have no idea he's there. He gets one, doesn't get the second. Dupree takes him down.
He's surrounded. He's fully surrounded. Seized and Flamey have pushed in the tunnels behind, so Dupree needs to fight out of this. He knows it now. He hears the shots coming down the stairwell. Flash in, needs to dodge it. No one to push from behind on Catwalk because Dupree has Zipex at least to cover that position and bail him out. And smartly, oh, that's huge. That's bomb from Device. I was going to say smartly, Dupree's taken over mid to try and cut to be fast, but this is so big.
That's very foolish from Device, giving the bomb away his position like that. Going for that frag, he could have exited for a T-spawn. He's given up the tunnels, and now they've lost the bomb in no man's land. And it's up to the Terror to try and reclaim it. You can see Edwards still towards long, which is interesting, but Dupree making his way towards the B side. That's kind of cool. Maybe they can
Flamey's watching
do
it, though.
something with this.
It does open up. Zipex has to go with it. Flamey gets him. That's huge because that was the entire flank potential. Good kill from Kerrigan, but watch the timing on Edward right now.
Zipex hears him, I think.
So a man advantage here for Navi. They've got the bomb back. 47 seconds to work with. Kerrigan's got a smoke. There's a Molotov on Zipex. But he's still occupied. He's still trying to find Edward, and in turn, he's getting taken down immediately. It's 22 HP, 1 versus 3.
Edwards is the absolute master of those situations. He's got such great awareness. We've seen it time and time again in this tournament, especially on maps like Cobble as well. Knows which angles to help and when people are likely to face. But 3-on-1 now. Kerrigan with 22 HP in the bomb and 20 seconds remaining. I don't really think he has any sort of chance going into this.
Well, he needs to try and be intrusive. Find a way to make it conducive, but as you say, no lyric or rhyme, buy more time. It's 12 seconds, and he's actually going to give it up. He still had a nade, but couldn't get in. They had the crossfire set. Edward falls off that, doesn't need to give up the position. They'll keep all 3 guns up, and this is the nightmare situation. Astralis is going to have nothing to play against map point. Navi are 1 round away from a grand final.
Full reset coming in, as I mentioned before. Only thing they've got going for them is saving that AK, but it is 15 plays 5. 10 in a row from the Danish squad to actually take this to overtime. Navi looking very calm. I think they know the situation for Astralis as well. We've got P250 scouts and 1 AK. This is surely it. Round number 21. Navi looking to finish things right here, right now.
And the shot, the face from Guardian. Spots the jump again. What a shot reaction. Device goes down. Guardian is so slick, and Cajun B nades toward him, but he's got into the underpass. Problem is, he's let 2 go by him, Zeus and Edward. They're timing up middle. He's going to be spotted down by Dupree, but they've got so much control, so much information, and they're just tearing them apart. It's down to just Cajun B and Dupree versus 5. Navi are on the cusp of a grand final appearance for the 2nd straight time. Dupree, he's not going to go gentle into this dark night. He'll rage against the dying of the light, but there's not much light to be had. As Cajun as well, going to fall. And I dare say it, it's over. Navi are in the grand final, the 2nd straight time. What a performance again. Guardian snaps back on map 2. He didn't have a lot of kills, but he definitely had some impact. And Edward seized inside the B side. All of these guys, so good. They can breathe easy and relax until tomorrow.
Just to reiterate, Astralis looking some of the best form we've ever seen them in coming into this semi-final. And the look on Device's face, he's had a shocker of a game to finish things off here at the Major. 9 for 19 on Dust 2.
And a peak on Inferno that no one will soon forget.
They looked so good against Fnatic, so strong, so dynamic, aggressive, confident. We just didn't have any of those attributes against this final map. 16 plays 5 is a disappointing way to end it. But Navi looking incredibly strong, completely on point. They will be booking themselves in the grand final here.
Going over it, shaking, and you can just see how upset Astralis are, not budging at all. Still got one more semi-final coming up. It is North America versus South America, Luminosity versus Team Liquid. Second game of the day for Luminosity, but they will face off against whoever it is out of those two teams. They will face off against Na'Vi now in the final. Such a good run of form for them as well from the end of last year to now. So many final appearances.
Yeah, absolutely. Hungry for this one. They lost out to Envious. Inclusion of Poker. This time looking for blood in Columbus, Ohio.
Well, that said, we are ready on the stage. Guardian is in another grand final, and Red Eye is standing by to see how he feels about it.
Thank you very much. Yes, Guardian, firstly, congratulations on another grand final in the major. Part one of your mission is done, but there's one more game to go for you. And I get the sense that you guys are focusing solely on just winning this entire tournament, and this is just one more step. Is that right?
Yeah, well, in Cluj, we felt that we can win the major, but yeah, we failed in the finals. We were not ready to win the major. I think now we are ready as team to win the major.
Why?
Because since Cluj, we have changed a lot of things. Like we stopped arguing, we started to believe in each other, and now even though I'm not playing good, I have the team behind me, and they're together, and that's how we play at the moment.
So you obviously feel that you aren't playing very well. Why?
I have reasons. I had the hand injury, and it's hard to come back for me. But for sure, I will do my best in the finals. But yeah, I have reasons to play like I'm playing, but hopefully I will do good.
Still picking heads off in mid on Dust 2, though.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Na'Vi are your grand finalists. Well done. We'll see Guardian a little bit later on. But don't forget, still one more semi-final to come. And after the break, we'll hear from the boys at the desk.